Should be live now. And yep, I see my stream started.
How's audio, I wonder?
Oh, I didn't even check. How is audio? Hello.
Yeah, because I don't know if we actually. I mean, we only have two things. It's me and you, so it's not like.
Can you hear both of us? Also, thank you for the host. All right.
Okay.
Welcome to another set review. I'm Abyss Hunted, and joining me.
I'm Slio9. Hi.
Now, I know the Witchwood's already out, and I know a lot of you don't have 5 hours to spare listening to us talk about cards, even though we easily could talk for that many hours. So, we're changing up the format a little bit this time. We're adapting something I'd like to call the lightning round. Basically, the idea is we look at a card, we give maybe a sentence or two, just each our first initial impression, and save the more in-depth discussion just for at the end of each class, or
Yeah.
I guess for neutrals at the end of each batch of rarity.
Yeah, with a couple exceptions on, some.
Yeah.
There's some cards we'll have a bit more to say, more at the beginning, actually.
Right. I was almost thinking we get like a number of like gongs or something, and we can bang them and just say we'll talk more about this one, and then when we run out of gongs or like your sports timeouts, that's it, you're done. No more. But if it gets to be a problem, maybe. But I think we'll be good for the number we plan to do. But so yeah. So the Witchwood came out almost 3 weeks ago now?
2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah,
17, 18 days.
So we've seen some of the cards. To be honest, I haven't personally played very much Constructed or Arena with these cards, but
On the opposite, I've played a lot of both, actually. Usually I don't play Constructed, but this set I have been playing a decent amount of, so.
yeah. So maybe for Constructed considerations, I may defer to you. So just starting off, mechanics for this set. So we'll, I guess, explain these as they pop up. But there's 2 new keywords, Echo and Rush. Echo...
Well, new.
Yeah, I mean, Echo sort of existed on Unstable Evolution, and Rush sort of existed on Charged Devilsaur, but not exactly for either one. A thing that did exist before and is now a keyword is Start of Game, which has been applied to Prince Malchezaar, and 2 new cards that we'll actually take a look at before we look at any of the other cards. Other themes, Odd Mana Deck and Even Mana Deck, which they don't appear in the arena, though. There are cards that swap stats each turn in hand, only in neutral and Hunter, though. There's a new minion type, All, and they brought back the hero card mechanic for 1 card, so...
Yep, that's what we got.
A couple other caveats. Arena's changed since the last time we did this. Rarity is not as important as an arena consideration anymore.
Yeah, for commons, rares, and epics, the silvers, blues, and purples, they can all show up on the same pick. The 3 cards are now by power level rather than just by rarity. Legends, however, still show up only as their own.
Yep. And also sets have rotated, so that affects standard and arena. Also affects, primarily for our purposes, discover and random card generation. And if we see cards, for how we evaluate those. So let's start off with the new evens and odds mechanics. So first we have Gen Greymane, 6 mana, 6/5. Start a game. If your deck has only even cost cards, your starting hero power costs 1. So, and this will not appear in Arena. So purely for constructed considerations, it's sort of like you get a start of game. What's the name of that priest legend they nerfed?
Raza?
Yeah, Raza. Except you can do it with any class. So
yeah,
I haven't actually. Amazingly, I haven't really run into any even decks in constructed, but I've heard they're definitely out there.
I have seen a number of them, Paladin being the most common of them, though a little less common than their opposite. For even cost cards, it is what you would expect your deck needs to contain. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0 costing cards at the start of the game. You could add cards of additional cost. It doesn't change it after the game starts. And as Melkazar does, Gen appears and just kind of pokes your hero power.
Yep.
The idea being you don't have one drops, so your hero, and you don't have anything on 3, your hero substitutes for that little missing mana.
Right. But yeah, and I guess it plays nicely because like your hero power costing 1, you've only even cards, so on your odd turns, maybe you'd play an even card plus hero power or something like that.
Yep.
And reasonable body on its own.
Yes.
The strength of the actual effect probably helps your curve, but is it ultimately worth playing only even cost cards?
I would say for some classes, yes.
Yeah, depends on the deck and class. All right. Now for the other one. Baku the Moon Eater. 9 mana 7/8 beast. Start a game. If your deck has only odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. And you may notice these are the exact same upgrades that were available from Justicar Trueheart from the set Grand Tournament. Now, getting these start a game instead of turn 6. Oh boy.
Well, not only like instead of turn 6, but 100% assured.
Yep. So like things like the Silver Hand or Tank Up from the start of the game.
Yeah. This is a power that I have seen, I want to say 6 different variations on in my travels. Like I have not encountered a shaman, a warlock, or a priest on these yet. But all the other 6 I have encountered, and they have power behind them.
I think I actually have seen a priest playing it. I don't know if that was necessarily a good deck. But,
that would not surprise me.
But yeah, Tank Up, Silver Hand. Also, the Druid one is incredibly strong. No Warlock, possibly, because Warlock stuff in this set actually wants Warlock to be able to damage itself.
Yeah, and then Shaman, like, the upgrade on Shaman is so low impact.
Right.
I just quick want to say these 2 cards, I think, are just my favorite cards in the set. They open up so many, like, deck-building ideas, options. Baku alone opens up 9 different ideas for where to go, and a lot of them are very powerful. A rogue with a 2/2 weapon is very huge. We've played against Tank Up Warrior back in Trueheart days. Hard to kill him.
Yeah. Notable point of comparison between odds and evens, though. Baku is absolutely the worst draw in the world.
Oh, yeah.
9 mana 7/8, you never want to draw this thing. But yeah, interesting deck building possibilities, and you can do some strong stuff with these. So, these being your favorite, I just want to ask you, so, this is one of those build-around-y type things like Cthulhu, also part of why it doesn't appear in Arena. Were you a big Cthulhu fan?
Well, okay. These are much different than Cthulhu, because Cthulhu asks you...
Play all the on-theme cards.
Please play 20 cards from my theme and 10 cards of your choice.
Yeah, okay, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Baku and Gen ask you, please play cards of this mana cost, which, at the moment, some classes have a much harder time of that than others. Because of Baku, we've literally seen Raid Leader and Stormwind Champion in Constructed. I've run into a Mani Berserker in Even Paladin,
Yep.
So, as the pool widens, you'll see more options open up with these.
Yep, and for that matter, I wish I could speak for these on Wild, but I haven't actually played any since that started.
I don't touch Wild very much, but I guess Reno would be a more apt comparison, I think, to these.
Yeah, that's fair. So, but yeah, there's some crazy things you can do with these. All right, so I think these were worth the extended amount of time to talk about, but let's get into the lightning round, starting with some Druid cards. So first up, Witchwood Apple. 2 mana spell. Add 3 2/2 Trents to your hand, which are 2 mana 2/2s.
It's all right. It makes some bodies. It doesn't do anything on its own. Kind of reminds me of the Razor pedals.
Yeah, so my only thought, Druid has a theme this set of cares about number of cards in your hand. This generates 3 cards in your hand. But other than that, probably not the worst thing in Arena.
Druid doesn't want to have a lot of cards in hand because Ultimate Infestation draws 5.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, certain cards we'll see later in this
Right,
set.
right.
Okay, next card. Druid of the Scythe. 3 mana, choose one. Transform into a 4/2 with Rush or a 2/4 with Taunt. So I guess, or both if you have Fandral. But, so I guess let's talk about Rush. So Rush is charge, except can't attack face the turn it's played.
Yeah, exactly that. It's fixed charge so that it can't produce like odd OTKs.
Strong mechanic to be able to turn your minions into removal. So, as for this actual card, so 3 mana would be like a 4/3 or 3/4 as the ideal. This is 4/2, 2/4, but it has a keyword of Taunt or Rush, so I think perfectly reasonable on curve. And the fact that you get options makes this quite good.
Yeah, follows in the footsteps of the Druids before the Druids, the flip cards that have been pretty good.
All right, next up, Ferocious Howl. 3 mana spell. Draw a card. Gain 1 armor for each card in your hand. So, shield block?
It's shield block.
Alright, Witching Hour. 3 mana, now we're into rares. 3 mana spell. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. Priest mechanic?
Yeah. This is like, they continue to do this thing where it's like, we want Beast Druid. But really, this in Constructed, I've seen this just revive, was it Hadronox? That's what you revive, the Death Rattle, summon all your taunts back.
Alright.
That's your only beast.
Yeah.
That's what this card does in Constructed.
Plays multiple copies of Hadronox. Fair. Yeah, I think that's a moon, not a meteor, but anyways. Next rare. Forest Guide. 4 mana 1/6. At the end of your turn, both players draw a card. End of your turn. So, it's a symmetric effect, except it's totally not symmetric and this card is garbage.
Well, the timing on this really sucks and basically only benefits one deck I don't think I've ever seen. Howling Mind draws you the card on your term, on your terms, not theirs.
Yeah. Maybe you'd play it in a mill if you're super desperate, but...
I mean, if you were playing a Mildred, sure, but I don't think that's a deck. Especially not with Cold Light gone.
But this seems pretty bad. Like, I think it was printed specifically because Cold Light's gone, and oh boy. Alright, moving on. Bewitched Guardian. 5 mana 4/1. Taunt. Battlecry. Gain +1 health for each card in your hand. So, Twilight Drake with Taunt for 1 more as a Druid card.
This is maybe the only payoff on the hand size thing I like.
Yeah, I think this is decent. Twilight Drake's a decent card. I'd pay 1 more for it with Taunt. Alright. Whispering Woods. More Wisp puns. 4 mana epic spell. Summon a 1/1 Wisp for each card in your hand. So more on the card theme. Probably a very poor top deck in Arena. You need a very specific deck. Also, why do the Wisps have different art?
This is a pile of 1/1s. If you're expecting to have like a 4/6 Drake, this is like 5/5 with stats. Only really good if you're doing some sort of weird shenanigans with hand or like early.
Next, Epic Gloom Stag. 5 mana 2/6 Taunt Beast. Battlecry, if your deck has only odd cost cards, gain +2/+2. So, doesn't appear in Arena. 5 mana 2/6 Taunt, under curve. 5 mana 4/8 Taunt, over curve.
Yeah. Again, I've seen the Druid like Baku deck. Uh, yeah, that seems just fine.
All right, on to Legends. Duskfallen Aviana, 5 mana, 3/7. On each player's turn, the first card played costs 0. So, more symmetric effects that are totally not symmetric. I don't think this is as lose the game as Temperous, but oh boy.
This might be the worst card in the set.
This is, yeah, junk.
This might be the worst. Like, you play it, and then your opponent gets a literal free card, and like Aviana has to not die to get you a free card.
Everything's coming up Millhouse. All right, other Druid legend, because this is the very first set where they're actually doing 2 legendary minions per class. Because basically every set we've had before, we've had a gimmick like hero cards or legendary weapons. They still are doing 2 legends, but now they're just minions, with exception to Shaman, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Anyways, here's a card. Splintergraft, 8 mana, 8/8. Battle Cry. Choose a friendly minion. Add a 10/10 copy to your hand that costs 10. Value?
This thing's real expensive. Or like it's a tree that gives you a 10 drop, which sort of reminds me of like a Pyros kind of thing.
Stone Tusk Boar.
Yeah, I guess. Like, is that the plan? You play a boar, you copy it, and then you have a bigger King Crush?
There's probably ways to abuse this.
Anytime there's a copy effect like this, there's bound to be.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a big card outside of that.
So, Druid overall. The hand theme, there's a couple good things, like Scythe. The hand theme is interesting, not necessarily worth playing. The symmetric effects are terrible. I think that maybe they're compensating for Druid being kind of nuts in the last couple sets.
This is absolutely a compensation set, because this is the cycle Blizzard goes through is overcompensation for a bad class, overcompensation for it too good. We're seeing Warlock right now on the side of the pendulum that's very good. Druid was on it and is swinging back. Priest was on it a couple sets before and it swung way back, that sort of thing. And then Shaman before it too. So
Stream chat mentions a decent idea for Splintergraft, Doppelgangster.
10 mana, 10/10 for 10/10.
10 mana for 3 10/10s.
I think the card that's the 2 cards that are most interesting in here are the Witching Hour actually has some pretty neat, like, again, the Hadronox combo is kind of funny, and like as far as like controlling what beasts you play, you might be able to pick up some good things. And I do like I think the odd Druid deck is real.
Mm-hmm.
Because that hero power is incredible.
Oh yeah, I've been completely destroyed by that hero power before even a Gloomstag came down. But
yeah. So
all right, on to Hunter. Hunting Mastiff, and here we can look at our other new mechanic. 2 mana, 2/1 beast, Echo Rush. So Echo is, when you play this card, add another copy of it to your hand that disappears at end of turn. And that copy, of course, has Echo as well. So it's basically like some sort of multi-kicker. You just play it as many times as you have the mana for. Or don't. So that brings us to this card. This seems like, this is probably fine, like some sort of alternate, like Unleash the Hounds is what I thought when I first saw this. I underestimated just how good of a card this is. Like, this is, you're on turn 10, like your opponent's top decking. I finally got you down to top decking, 5/2/1s show up. You have a board, lets you split damage and, like, remove half of it, and maybe make some more dogs, too.
yeah, what if you have a Direwolf Alpha in play, you get to trade, or something like that. This is really, really strong, and Echo as a mechanic is very strong.
Yeah, and also, I'm not sure there's a way to do it in Hunter, but Echo with cost reduction gets really stupid.
Yeah, you see it more in Warlock. All of a sudden, Summoning Portal, a card from ages never played, returns, or like spell cost reduction. So, but even without like cost reduction, if you need to split this is 10 damage split, for 10.
Right. And the other thing
Like,
about Echo is, like, good at almost any stage of the game as well. Like,
yep.
this is probably less value early on than later, but this is, like, it's not some heavy value card that you get stuck within your hand on early turns. Like,
Love this dog. Oh, another point I want to make about, I'll make it about Echo here. Echo has sort of changed the nature of picking cards in the arena, I feel. You don't need as much top end when you have cards with Echo that get to be your top end.
yeah,
You know,
that's true.
uh, that dumb walnut or that the Legion that we'll see later. Things like that are fake 9 drops in addition to being 3 drops. So
And it's a beast. Alright, speaking of beasts, next card, Dire Frenzy. 4 mana spell. Give a beast +3/+3. Shuffle 3 copies into your deck with +3/+3. I'm not sure it's going to make Mill Hunter a thing, but this is strong. So, what I was saying about shenanigans with Stone Tusk Boar, or Huffer.
yeah, this is much less like that. I don't think anybody's gonna. I guess somebody might try to play Mill Hunter, but really this is the dog we just had. You give that +3/+3 and shuffle it into your deck, and now it's a 5/4.
Oh god, I didn't even think about this with Echo.
Stone Dust Boar, obviously, Uffer, or just I don't know, Misha, anything. The fact that it's a 3/4 blessing of kings on the board is great too. So
Dang, didn't even realize that. But yeah, this is good too. All right, next Hunter card, Vilebrood Skitterer, 5 mana 1/3 beast, poisonous rush. So yeah, kill spell, and also gets dumber if you have Death Stalker Rexar.
yeah, a lot of things I get very strong with Rexar. Rexar actually being updated is very important. A kill spell that might stick on the board and like is effectively assassinate is really good.
Yeah, how about giving this thing the buff we just saw?
Yep.
All right, on to Hunter's Rares. Duskhaven Hunter, 3 mana, 2/5 stealth. Each turn this card is in your hand, swap its attack and health. Basically, every turn turns into a werewolf, turns back into a person. Reminds me of that mechanic from Innistrad and Magic the Gathering, but, health swaps. So maybe tricky to make it work exactly the way you want it on the turn you want it. But this mechanic is certainly versatile. And, hey, 3 mana 2/5 is, or 5/2 is on curve and with stealth. That's pretty good.
So yeah, this is so notable about this mechanic is that you're only like if you top deck it, it will always be that left side, the base side, and then it swaps at the end of your turn, which can be relevant for like a couple cards that bounce things out of your hands or play them based on things like that. I feel whelmed playing this card. Not under, not over, just sort of.
Well, I've always been
existed.
I've always been a fan of Jungle Panther, and this is just better on the 5/2 half.
It's better half the time and a lot worse the other half.
And the other half, I mean, it's like Gilblin Stalker with 2 more health for 1 more.
And 1 more. Yeah, for 1 more, which I don't know. I wanted to like this more than I did.
Yeah, I think the part of it is there's some other swappers later in the set that are in neutral that are a bit more exciting. And this is the only class swapper in the entire set.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Wing Blast, 4 mana spell. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If a minion died this turn, this costs 1. So here's another sub-theme for Hunter. It's Morbid for Magic the Gathering. This is 4 mana, 4 damage for 1, great. 4 damage for 4, and can't go face. Blah. I don't know how to evaluate this. What do you think?
I like it. I like it reminds me a little bit of Crush. Obviously cheaper and not as effective. I like it.
speaking of morbid stuff, Carrion Drake, 5 mana, 3/7 dragon. Is this also the first time Hunter gets in-class dragons? I think it might be. Battle Cry, if a minion died this turn, gain poisonous. So, yeah, stat shifted Mayexna for one less. Sign me up.
I'll now the 2 cards ago with the stealth flipper, I was on, not as great on that. This card overperformed like a lot playing it. Love this thing.
Yep. This one's good. On to epics. Rat Trap. 2 mana secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in one turn, summon a 6/6 rat, which is a beast. I don't think this thing's actually triggering that often.
It's designed to be an anti-echo card. That said, it's only ever going to work in like really, really specific circumstances. Like if you want to include a card in your deck that will only function in 20% of matches and like 10 turns from when you play it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you might think 2 mana 6/6, that's fantastic, except how many turns is it going to be till your opponent even has the mana to play 3 things in one turn?
You basically would have to play this and have your opponent like coin into 2 cards and then like just completely get blown out.
Yeah, not sure I'm a big fan. Alright, next card, Toxmonger. 4 mana 2/4. Whenever you play a 1-cost minion, give it poisonous. Reminds me of Hobgoblin.
Yeah, Hobgoblin and Steward of Darkshire come to mind. I like this. I like both those cards. Well, I don't like Hobgoblin as much, but I like Steward a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how many 1-cost minions there actually are. There might be some in neutral that Hunter might play.
Well, I mean, they still have some strong 1-cost minions. They have Bird. They've got.
Oh yeah, chat points out this turns
Cat.
Elvish Archer
Quest.
into a kill spell.
Yeah, Elvish Archer. If Fiery Bat didn't rotate.
Oh yeah, fire me out with this. That'd be kind of crazy.
Stone Tusk Boar, obviously. There's a lot of cards that make this strong.
Mm-hmm. All right, Hunter's Legendaries. Houndmaster Shaw. Hey, it's the guy from the Dungeon Run mode. 4 mana 3/6 on curve body. Your other minions have Rush. Seems good.
You know Tundra Rhino and how you need to kill it every time it shows up?
Uh-huh.
Well, this is 1 less cost and 1 more power and toughness, and isn't just beasts.
Yeah.
You need to kill this the turn it shows up.
Yep. Pretty good. And if 4 drops on curve aren't your thing, other legend, Emeris. 10 mana 8/8 dragon. Battle Cry. Double the attack and health of all minions in your hand. So, Don Honcho's bigger cousin?
I unless you have some way of cheating this in, like, and getting the Battle Cry, this card ain't doing anything. I think the best thing I saw this card do was somehow show up in a shaman's hand, and then they played Claws That Catch 20 times.
I see. Yeah, I guess the best you can do with this is like King Crush, and that's just way too slow.
Yeah, that's about it.
Also, 10 mana. Yeah, alright, cool card, too expensive. Thoughts on Hunter overall? A lot of poison. A lot of pretty efficient stuff.
Liking it a lot overall. A lot of different directions where you can still try to support me. I don't know if Spell Hunter lost too much with rotation, but there's still a couple cards in here, the Wing Blast mostly, that could support it. And a lot of their cards are like really good beast cards that can play both like a controlling role and an offensive role in like Huntmaster, or Houndmaster.
Yep. Also worth noting, we mentioned some of these affect Rexar, and there's more in neutral. that may affect the evaluation of Hunter as a class, although not strictly speaking for, well, I mean, they're also pretty playable in Arena for a class that cares about beasts, but we'll see them when we see them. So, yeah, Hunter seems good this set. I think it gets some decent pieces. All right,
Yep.
let's go on to Mage. Starting off with Snap Freeze. 2-mana spell. Freeze a minion. If it's already frozen, destroyed it. Power creep.
This is what Shatter should have been the first time. I think everybody said that. I think this was the most common suggestion for how to fix Shatter, and it's still not very good. But it's better than Shatter.
Is it better than Freezing Potion?
Well, you never played Freezing Potion, you got it for free, and you felt real good.
Yeah, true. Blah. Alright, next card. Black Cat. Note this one doesn't appear in Arena. 3-mana 3/3 Beast. Spell damage +1. Battle Cry. If your deck has only odd cost cards, draw a card.
Power creep.
Yeah, so this is that mech from Goblins vs. Gnomes. Not Flame Chugger, Flame something.
No. Yeah, the 3/3 mech with spell damage +1.
Soot Spewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that with Cantrip. Or how about just a 3/3 with Cantrip? Like, I guess you don't have to play it in an odd deck, but yeah, value, like extreme value.
Good cat.
Good card. Alright, speaking of good cards, Vex Crow, 4-mana 3/3 Beast. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion.
So how many times are we gonna have to say power creep on these?
So
It's not exactly creeping Violet Teacher, but
yeah, compares to Violet Teacher, except summoning random 2-drops instead of 1/1s are like 2/3s and 3/2s that pop up, and like this will suddenly grow extremely quickly out of control into a board you like absolutely need to deal with. You don't let this thing live.
yeah. Like this is seriously, it's like Violet Teacher, but way stronger in the class that cares about spells. It's like you know, imagine Flame Waker turns, but instead you played Vex Crow.
Right. I always dread seeing out of my opponent Vex Crow, Primordial Glyph, free spell.
No, it's glyph, into glyph, into glyph, pass, and then you're like, yeah, okay.
Alright, rares. Cinderstorm, 3-mana spell, deal 5 damage, randomly split among all enemies. Bigger missiles. Not sure I'm actually a fan, though.
Yeah, it's okay. Like the big thing is that if they're empty boarded, this is just 5 to the face.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's like a lava burst. Okay. Yeah, chat mentions play it in aggro. I could see that.
Yeah, like you play this in like a Mana Worm style deck, and it does good there.
And honestly, who's going to have minions lying around when you've just explosive runes their last 2 attempts to play any? Alright, Bonfire Elemental. 5-mana 5/5 Elemental. Battle Cry. If you played an Elemental last turn, draw a card. Yeah, okay, this thing making Azure Drake, which was a card too strong to stay in Standard, look like a chump.
Yeah, what the hell? I think this card single-handedly like turned like Elemental Mage from like this sort of like that's not a real deck to a super real deck.
Yep. And then this thing lifelinks once Jane is down, but that's a side point. But yeah, this compares well to Fire Elemental as far as really good elementals go. Heck, it has Fire Elemental in the name. Good card. Alright, next rare. Curio Collector. 5-mana 4/4. Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. Eh?
Reminds me of
Reporter,
though more controllable in your way.
Oh.
Like you play it and then you can play Arcane. You can play Arcane Intellect.
Right. What I don't like is Reporter comes down as a 4/4 for 4. This comes down as a 4/4 for 5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. This is probably still pretty decent in arena, but like, I don't see this being played and constructed.
I see it as kill this on sight, but it's really easy to do that.
Yep. Epics. Book of Specters. 2 mana spell. Draw 3 cards, discard any spells drawn. Now, this is one I have seen in constructed. Draw 3 for 2 and a minion heavy, like, kind of tempo aggro deck. Pretty good. Even, like, if there's discard involved, like, just dig for stuff. This is a decent card, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a gamble to run it, and you kind of have to gauge how deep you want to go. It's like, okay, I play this. Do I still play Fireball? Yeah, I still play Fireball. Do I still play Frostbolt? Maybe. Do I still play? And then you have to ask yourself, how many spells are you willing to play with it? I like that question.
Yep. Next card, Arcane Keysmith. 4 mana 2/2. Battlecry, discover a secret and put it into the battlefield. So, sort of variation of Hydrologist, basically.
Yeah. It's like 60% explosive runes.
I don't think I've seen anybody play this in constructed, but it's probably fine in arena.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this in constructed either. Notable, Ice Block rotated. It got that wasn't something we mentioned, but it's worth mentioning with this specific card.
Yep, you're not going to be you brewing this and discovering a million ice blocks and living forever. Unless you're playing wild. But then there's more secrets, and the odds of that are much worse, so. Alright, Mage's Legendaries. Archmage Arugal. 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. So this is like 2 mana 2/2 Chromagus.
Kill this on sight. And even then, sometimes they've already played an Arcane Intellect and gotten 3 or 4 cards, you know. I've played it, I've seen this on the other side, and it's scary.
Yeah, I see why. Coming down on 2, pretty good.
Hell, play it on 4 with a book. You know, the draw 3, discard your spells.
Yeah, I have seen that in a minion deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, aggro minion mage is kind of a thing now, isn't it, I guess. And our other mage legend, Toki Time Tinker. 6 mana 5/5. Battlecry, add a random legendary minion from the past to your hand. Of note, no matter what mode you're playing, arena, constructed in standard, constructed in wild, tavern brawl, or whatever, from the past means any legendary minion that is not in the current standard.
Yeah. So you're getting a wild only legend. So if you want to play Toki into Dr. Boom, you can do that 1 in every 138 times, because the other ones you're getting like Show or like, yeah, as Kaz says, this is great at reminding you how many awful legends there are.
Yeah. Cho's in standard though, I think. Just but things of that level, there's like tons of them.
Nat, Nat Darkfisher. Did that rotate?
I think that was Old Gods. So,
okay.
Yeah. And like a million other bad ones. But 6 mana 5/5, okay, and sometimes value. Honestly, what this really reminds me of is there's an old neutral card called, it was a 6 mana 5/5 that said Battlecry, add a random paladin card to your hand. That's honestly what this closest reminds me of. It's just, it might be really good value, it might be really not good value, but at least you get a 5/5.
This is a card for having fun, wacky things happen where, like, you play it and Gazrilla appears and you're like, oh, I guess I'm playing Mage with Gazrilla. You know, that sort of thing.
Yep. So thoughts on Mage overall? Minion Mage kind of a thing. Elemental Mage, the big one. Also Spell Mage with the Crow.
Strong aggressive pieces. The Bonfire Elemental turns Elementals a lot realer. Odd Mage exists because the Mage Hero power upgraded is quite strong. There's a lot of like good different directions to go here.
All right, on to Paladin. Rebuke. 2-mana spell. Enemy spells cost 5 more next turn. You know what was a good card? Lotheb.
Can I pay 3 more?
You know what's not really a good card? When it doesn't have a body.
Can I pay 3 more and just get a Lotheb? Or like, can I pay like 2 more and get a really crap body? I don't want to play this.
Me either. Sound the Bells. 2-mana spell. Give a minion +1/+2. Echo. So, once again, never let a paladin minion live.
Yeah. Compared to Blessing of Kings, it's +2/+4 on that time, but splittable. And late game, whew.
+5/+10. Split up.
Cool. Yeah, split up and makes trades like really well. You know, you can't. If a paladin has a board, this card's going to do some really big shenanigans to you.
Yep. Alright, next up. Ghostly Charger. 5-mana 3/4 beast with Divine Shield and Rush. So, add this to the list of most annoying men cleanup crew.
Yeah, this horse is definitely the cleanup crew. This is very close to the most annoying man in the world. And with higher toughness. I like it.
Paragon of Light. 3-mana 2/5. When this minion has 3 or more attack, it gains Taunt and Lifesteal. Technically on curve already, though not enthusiastic about playing it. Buff it with anything, and it's yet another one of those paladin cards that just says buff me, right? Like, that's what you're doing with this.
Yeah, it says buff me, but it doesn't pay for it in like stats. It isn't like you know that hexproof 3/3 that only you could target. Like it wasn't a paladin card, but it was just a neutral card. You know, you're not paying for huge stats. So if you're in a deck that's the quest, this works well.
Yeah. Or that card we just saw a little bit ago. Really, anything.
Yes.
Probably fine. Has this been played and constructed? I guess. Probably not.
I've been playing Odd Paladin, and I don't play this because that deck loses too many of its buffs to want to. So
oh, right, like every paladin buff is.
It loses Blessing of Kings, it loses the bells, it loses Steed, things like that. So
gotcha. All right. Next card, Bellringer Sentry, 4-mana 3/4. Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. None of your business?
This ain't close to none of your business. That's...
Yeah, this is, it's probably a fair version of none of your business.
That's true.
But it's okay. I don't know if I'd go, like, highly picking it in Arena or putting it into a constructed deck, but it's okay. Anything else to say, or should we...
Nope.
All right. Now here's a good card. Silver Sword, 8-mana 3/4 weapon. So got an Assassin's Blade for a bit more on this front. And after your hero attacks, pump your entire team +1/+1. Yeah.
This thing's scary as hell.
Never let a paladin keep a minion.
Even then, like, they play the sword attack and you clear their board and they're like, cool, hero power 5-drop, 2-drop attack. And it's like,
Also, this is 12 to the face on its own without buff damage. This is good. Alright, Paladin Epics. Hidden Wisdom. Secret. 1 mana. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, draw 2 cards. So I guess this is the other one that goes with the Hunter's Secret for triggers on opponent playing 3 cards. You
I
could
guess
say
Mage didn't get cursed by this.
I guess I lost to a paladin that actually got this off when I was playing Rogue, but like that's completely anecdotal evidence that doesn't mean anything. So
I was gonna say that Paladin also didn't draw those cards the other 90% of the time. This card's so bad.
yeah, just like the Hunter's Secret. When is this actually happening? All right. Cathedral Gargoyle, 2 mana 2/2, Battle Cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Well, Dragon Paladin is a air quotes thing now. I mean, a bunch of dragon support rotated basically is the thing, so they had to put in some obligatory new dragon support and like shielded mini bot with taunt, pretty good. Is Dragon Paladin viable? I don't know.
You know what kind of deck you'd want to play this in. It doesn't work with anything else.
And chat points out, not a dragon itself. Alright, Paladin Legendaries. The Glass Knight. 4 mana, 4/3 Divine Shield. Whenever you restore health, gain Divine Shield. Now, I'm not actually sure how this works. Is this to your minions or your hero, or is it just to your hero?
Whenever something gets healed.
On your side of the field?
Yes.
Or you. Okay. So, like, I start looking at this and say there's that 4 mana, 3/3 Divine Shield neutral card, which isn't really exciting. Add 1 more health on it, or 1 more attack on it, which with Divine Shield is actually quite a bit of an upgrade. And I asked myself, does the power actually do anything? But I've heard this card's actually decent and sees play, apparently.
I like this card a lot. Reminds me of a playable version of that mech that got the glass, that got a shield all the time. The Cobalt one.
Yeah, I guess I'm just asking myself what deck plays this. Like, is Healing Paladin a thing, or?
No. I honestly think the card works pretty fine on its own. There is what is it? The Jin, the 2/4 that heals you 3. That's a really good way to keep recharging this. And then like Bolvar is also a very powerful payoff for Divine Shield. Over and over.
Oh, right. Yeah, the one
that's the deck that plays this.
Yeah, okay. Right, there is that card that heals you at the end.
Yeah, also True Silver Champion is a card that you play in Paladin.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I can see this being decent. Other Paladin legend. Prince Liam, 5 mana 5/5. Battle Cry, transform all 1-cost cards in your deck into legendary minions. I've definitely seen odd Paladin builds that play this.
Yeah, this is a good late game card for those decks because they don't want to draw Firefly or Squire or Lost in the Jungle late game.
Yeah.
So this has a place. Yeah, secrets. This is like a who am I, but you just don't. Instead of thinning the deck, you just make them better cards.
And also probably good in Arena because once you've hit turn 5, you're probably not going to want to play 1 costs anymore and 5 mana 5/5. So, yep, decent. Thoughts on Paladin overall?
They've got some strong stuff. It's kind of all on 1 or 2 different themes, kind of like a pumping theme. I don't think Dragon is real. It wasn't real when they had support before, and it doesn't feel it now.
Yep, I agree.
Silver Sword kicking my ass in the arena.
Yeah,
for sure.
Silver Sword's a good arena card. And everything, so is Charger. But as for Constructed itself, I'm not sure Paladin really gets that many pieces. Like, honestly, the biggest thing Paladin gets are Gen and Baku, more than any of its actual Paladin cards.
The trick there is that, like, Aggro Paladin is one of the best decks in the format. Like,
right.
Because there's 12 different variations, and they're all very strong, and it's one of the decks that can actually stand up to a warlock.
Did you know
Like yeah,
Called
called
Arms
arms
is
still
really good?
yeah, called arms still exists, so Paladin's doing fine. And they
Yeah.
have some pretty good additions here, if not like game changing pieces, still some pieces that do well. So
Yep. So, onto a class that did lose a lot. Priest. Priest lost, let's see, just to
oh wait,
start.
wait, 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 wait. I want to go back to the Glass Knight one more time.
Oh, yeah.
The Glass Knight looks a lot like Samus.
Yeah, I see it.
With like the green visor.
Samus with a mace.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, so Priest lost like a lot of stuff, like starting off the list, Dragonfire Potion, Potion of Madness, like most of its dragon kit except for there's, I guess it still has the 3/3 sweeper dragon, but
Yeah.
but lost a lot of stuff. So Priest kind of needs some good stuff in this set. Does it actually get it? Let's take a look. So, Divine Hymn, 2 mana spell, restores 6 health to all friendly characters. So, was there a Paladin card that was just 2 mana, 6 health to yourself, or to one character?
Yeah.
That said, does this make this one good? Possibly, actually. Like, if you have a bunch of high health minions close to death, and you can heal them up and heal yourself. Like,
It does a strong amount of stuff for a healing card, which like a card that's just healing kind of needs to do more than that. I don't know if I call it better than Circle because Circle kills things with Oknai. This only kills yourself with Oknai. Don't do that.
yeah. I mean, it reminds me of, like, Circle without the 0 cost, or an Ogni option, or, like, Holy Nova without the damage to the opponent part, and more on the heal. Like,
God, honestly, I'm probably still playing Circle.
yeah, I mean, healing self can also matter in a format with a lot of aggro. Like, I think this card has potential, not necessarily, like, insta-pick, and I probably would pass it up in Arena, but, like, as far as heal cards go, this one's not bad. Speaking of heal cards, though, I think here's the one you want. Squashling. 2 mana, 2/1, Echo. Battle Cry, restore 2 health.
This is the actual reason I don't like the previous card.
Yeah, so, like, good for all the reasons we said dogs were. Except instead of 2 damage that you can split up a bunch of ways you want, it's 2 healing you can split up a bunch of ways you want.
Yeah, I like this a lot more because it leaves a pretty sizable board presence.
Yeah, still 5 2/1s on a top deck.
Yep.
Like,
And if you have an Oknai out, you get to shock a lot.
alright, Quartz Elemental. 5 mana, 5/8, Elemental. Can't attack while damaged. I guess as far as can't attack cards go, this one's pretty good. Over curved body, but is this actually, like, good? I think this might be used in a somewhat fake priest deck that's basically, like, tries to do the buff up inner fire combo thing, but, like, I don't know. And I guess 5 attack keeps your opponent off attacking and do it too much. But, like, how often are you going to be able to attack with this is the real question. I don't know.
I don't care too much for this thing. I think it's a little too fragile for having 8 health.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree. Lukewarm. Alright, Holy Water. 5 mana spell. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a copy of it to your hand.
This card scares me.
Like,
I don't think it's like terribly great. Uh, but
Value, but probably too expensive and clunky.
in the arena, it's nowhere near that. It's very strong there because like you get to have it be this sort of bane of doom of sorts, where it's like, I kill your minion, now I get to play your Lost Tall Strider. Sweet.
Yep. I can see that, yeah. Alright, Coffin Crasher. 6 mana, 6/5. Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion from your hand. So this is like... No, it's, what was that Warlock card that rotated? The 3/4 that when it died, popped a demon out of your hand. It's that for Death Rattles, which, what do you want to get out of this?
Obsidian statue.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Obsidian statue.
Yeah.
There's a lot actually that this throws out.
Yeah, okay. Obsidian statue. Yeah, okay. I'm on board with this. I like it now.
Yeah. Other than that, there's other like just when you have a card that sidesteps mana costs, it's always going to see some sort of play to like, do some, I threw Deathwing into play, the Death Rattle one.
Right.
So
is that guy in standard now? I think he rotated out, but
no, it's not. But like that's an example.
Yeah. And I guess last thought is that often with these Death Rattle cheat mana cost things, like there's the Warlock Recruiter one or the 3/4 that's in Warlock, like often you just say, well, fine, I'll just leave it in play to hit me in the face because I really don't want it to pop right now. This is 6 attack, so you kind of don't get that choice.
Yeah. I think the other card this throws down is Bone Drake.
Yeah, that's also fair. Speaking of dragons, Nightscale Matriarch. 7 mana, 4/9 dragon. Whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon a 3/3 whelp.
Extremely scary.
Extremely scary, strong, harder to actually get off the ground and running than you might think. Like, just because you can't just immediately start summoning 3/3s on an empty board with it, but, like, decent card, definitely.
I think it's a little more than that, because, like, this has Fake Taunt.
Right.
Like, you need to kill this, and if you play this into an empty board, like, the hell does your opponent do? Like, it's a 4/9. It's got so much toughness.
Right, and if you don't completely kill it, it starts summoning 3/3s.
Yeah, so, like, as far as 7 drops go, this one commands some respect.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said hard to get off the ground. Who cares? This thing's not dying anyway, so it's not like Professor Palatress or something.
Right, and if it is, like, it's probably hit 2 minions for 4 more. So
yeah,
so
it's good, and I don't want to see an opponent drop in an arena. All right, Vivid Nightmares, 3 mana epic spell. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it with 1 health remaining.
Combo.
Yep, 3 mana clone.
Radiant Elemental exists in that class. There's the age-old Exodia Mage with Sorcerer's Apprentice and Antonitis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you've got Radiant Elemental and, like, Velen and this. And Mind Blast.
How about copy your Velens?
Yeah.
Or something. Next card, Glitter Moth. Note this one does not appear in Arena. 5 mana, 4/4 Beast. Battle Cry, if your deck has only odd cost cards, double the health of your other minions. So I think when I said I'd seen like an odd priest, it was basically this plan, which I don't think this is a real plan.
You have to give up playing the actual card that does that to play this.
Which one are you referring to? Oh, not Inner Fire.
divine, well, the double health of the moon.
Right, yeah, for 2. Also 5 mana 4/4. Like, yeah, this is strong and affects your whole deck, but also doesn't affect what you have in hand, which you might have already drawn your thing you want to double. There's a number of reasons why this is clunky. Alright, Legends. Chameleos. 1 mana, 1/1 beast. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a card your opponent is holding. I don't know if this is good, but I love it just for free information.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like a way to know what your opponent's holding, and that's neat. I like cards that change into other cards as well. I'm a known player of Shifter's Eris.
Yep. Also, there were all kinds of amusing bugs with this thing when it first came out, but
Yeah.
yeah, cool card. And Lady in White. 6 mana 5/5. Battlecry, cast Inner Fire on every minion in your deck. Set attack equal to health. You know what I'm disappointed of? Glittermoth. Requires playing Odd Priest. This card. Even mana cost.
I'm stunned this has reminder text. This is Hearthstone. You don't explain what your card does.
That aside,
I've seen people like playing with this and like going all in on like the 1/6 taunt lifesteal, the things like that we'll see later that get to do silly things with this.
what if you make all your Mogashan Wardens a 4 mana 7/7?
4 mana 7/7 returns. Yeah.
I just wish this worked with Glittermoth, or like, what are you doing, guys?
I know.
So, thoughts on Priest? Did it get enough to make up for everything it lost?
I think you got some interesting stuff. I like the Squashling. I like Coffin Crasher has some like potential. Night Skill Matriarch scares the hell out of me, but I don't know if that's enough for Constructed. Vivid Nightmare is some obvious like here's my combo deck going on, and same with like the Glittermoth and the Lady. Feels like they want Priest to do a lot more combo.
Right. And not the kind that involves Shadow Anduin.
Right.
Yeah, like, I think they want a number of things pointing to dragons or Inner Fire, although Death Rattle as well. Like, it's kind of split up among different themes. I haven't seen a whole lot of Priest and Constructed either right now, which makes me think probably needs a little more for what it lost, like a sweeper.
Yeah, we'll see if it's one of those things that it's like people won't, like need to adapt play styles, or if it's actually a full loss.
All right,
So
moving on. Rogue, Cheap Shot, 2 mana Echo spell, deal 2 damage to a minion. So I appreciate the split damage, but like 2 damage to a minion is often like a 1 mana effect, and I know it's Echo, but like the fact that this can't go face, yeah, I guess that would be like a way better Pyroblast, but I don't know. Like this is probably my least favorite Echo card in the set, to be perfectly honest. Like,
it's weaker.
It just seems underwhelming.
I mean, it's like dogs, except for you don't get to keep around extra dogs, and you have to affect it with spell damage instead of attack buffing. Echo's powerful. This card is not as powerful, but Echo's powerful. I feel like it can do some board wiping. So
yeah. So maybe it's like your opponent has 3 minions and it's a Blizzard of Swords or something. Yeah, that's fair. Or even they have 2 and it's a Consecrate. Okay, it's strong in Arena, certainly. I don't think it's constructed playable. Now, what is constructed playable? Blink Fox. 3 mana 3/3 beast. Battle cry, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. So, I guess we talked a bit back about that mage 3 mana 3/3 with spell damage and draw a card if you're specifically playing, what was it, Odd Mage?
Yeah.
And this is just like 3 mana 3/3, get card value flat, and it's generated card, which oftentimes
Often is stronger. In some instances, depending on your opponent, might be a wash, play against a warrior, get an armor card, things like that. But a lot of the times you're getting good stuff off of this and you're getting a body that's reasonable on the board and you're keeping card parity, which is like a lot of decks want to be doing that because, you're playing a value game a lot of the time.
good constructed, good arena.
Very good.
Cutthroat Buccaneer. 3 mana 2/4 pirate. Combo, give your weapon +1 attack. My thoughts for arena, it's a fair version of Goblin Auto Barber. For constructed, it's basically a substitute replacement for the King's Bane deck for some of the pirates it lost.
Agreed.
All right. I guess we'll move on then. Pickpocket. 2 mana spell with Echo. Add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Yeah. I never want to see an opponent play this in arena. I just see this, my opponent draws a million cards, and I say, well, guess I'm losing this game.
I love this. I'm the person who has a rogue deck built that just has every card with this line of text in it. I love this. It's really dumb. What if you just have a draw 3 or draw 4, and it's the value of random cards from your opponent's class goes up the more of them you get, because you can generally, you don't run into the synergy problems once you have 4 or 5 of them, I got a weapon upgrader, but no weapon. Well, here's a weapon. Armor user, but no armor. Well, here's some armor, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like at 6, this is 3 cards. At 8, it's 4 cards. Honestly, the closest thing this reminds me of is actually Sprint, except you're also not limited by it having to cost 7. You could just play it for 4 for 2 cards.
yeah.
I'm even rocking this in Constructed right now for King's Bane. So, as a one of, I like this card a lot. Alright, Mr. Wraith. 4 mana, 3/5. Whenever you play an Echo card, gain +1/+1. So I will note that I believe of all the classes, Rogue has the largest concentration of Echo and cards that care about Echo.
By far.
So that's this thing. No Echo cards, it's almost a Yeti, and then with Echo, it's better than a Yeti, so...
Well, but the trick is, your mind might think, after you play an Echo card, this gets +1/+1. I have played the Echo card, and I have gotten my +1/+1. That is the end of the text. No. When you play an Echo card, you're generally playing 3 Echo cards. You're playing a lot of them, or this goes up to immediately up to a 5/7.
Yeah,
you should be questing Wraith. But yeah, it has a very specific deck it needs to be in.
Yeah, not sure I've seen it in Constructed, and I'm not sure you can get Echo consistently enough in Arena for this to be good, but if this actually works, it's pretty good. That's just the if.
Yeah.
Cursed Castaway. 6 mana, 5/3 Rush Pirate. Death Rattle, draw a combo card from your deck. So, basically a Moonfire. Or not a Moonfire, Starfire?
Starfire. Because Starfall is the sweeper one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm flying, but, you get a card off it, too.
Yeah. Or alternatively, it's also, if you're not using it as immediate removal, it's also just a 5/3 body that Death Rattle draws, so...
Yep.
I'd definitely play in an arena, probably too expensive for Constructed.
It is notable that for Constructed, it is a tutor that is a very slim tutor. If your only combo card in your deck is Vile Spine...
Yeah.
You can do that. Thin tutors like that are can be very strong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Alright, Spectral Cutlass. 4 mana, 2/2 lifesteal weapon with whenever you play a card from another class, gain +1 durability. Steal enough and this thing will just never go away.
I like this a lot more than Obsidian Shard, which was the other weapon that cared about theft.
I don't think this is constructed good enough to, like, be a plan over Kingsbane being a plan.
That's its actual problem.
But, like, as far as repeatable 2/2 lifesteal weapon goes, I guess as long as you play enough, you have +1 attack and lifesteal on your weapon you can make already. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd play this in Arena, though. 4 mana, 2/2 weapon.
Kingsbane really is the biggest problem for this card, because Kingsbane is going to do what it does
Right.
better.
Yeah, that's the problem for Construct, and for Arena, it's just like, if you're not actually on the theft plan, 4 mana, 2/2 lifesteal weapon doesn't seem that fantastic.
Works very well with buffs, though, especially if you're upping that durability. Deadly Poison on it?
Yeah, true. Wanted. 4 mana spell, deal 3 damage to a minion. If it kills it, add a coin to your hand. You know, even if this costs, like, so what, you reduce its cost to 3? I don't like 3 mana for 3 to a minion. This is overcosted. It's just not good.
I'd like this at 3 because it would refund, and like adding coins to your hand can do some silly things. This is too expensive.
Yeah, like, why are you adding coins if you're making it this much overcosted? It just doesn't.
No, you're adding coins because you want to hold coins for. There's some dumb infinites with later cards that like want coins.
Sure, so it's like, this reminds me of, there was a priest card last set, or maybe it was the set before.
It doesn't draw you 2 cards here. Yeah, the priest like 2/2.
Yeah, the one that just was like a 3 mana 2/2 that death rattle to add a coin. It's like, what? Because you want to have coins? Like, that's the reason you'd play this.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't like it. Face Collector, 3 mana 2/2. Echo, Battle Cry, add a random legendary minion to your hand. So you can get, without cost reduction, at most 3 uses of this card. I mean, honestly, like, adding random legends is pretty high variance in terms of the power you get. But, like, 2 mana 3/3 card generator, or 3 mana 2/2 card generator, good at 6. The board presence you get for 6 mana, not the greatest, or 9 mana, but it probably works out.
No, I think this card's quite real because it's generating. Well, very likely, especially if you're playing it 2 or 3 times, or you're doing something dumb like shadow stepping it, like, this can generate a lot of end game threat. When you roll enough dice at legendary minions, you start getting like 8 drops. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, you'll probably hit something good. Also, you can, like, if one of them, since we're in Rogue, if one of them lives, or even just after you play one of them, you can just, like, shadow step it and resume the echoing of this again on another turn.
Right. If you shadow step it, the copy costs 3.
Oh, okay, that is worth noting. Yeah, I wasn't actually sure if that would work, but even so, just as a rebuy on this, it's good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the theft plan, and that's just strong, so.
And speaking of theft plan, the other legend, Tess Greymane. 8 mana 6/6 Battlecry. Replay every card from another class you've played this game. Targets chosen randomly. So for minions, it's just like, you'll get the minions in play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for minions, it's playing the minions. For spells, it's basically yogging the spells.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, the secret about this, though, is because it's not random spells and you control what spells are in your deck. Like, this isn't Yogg at all. Like, this is, if you just play, like, controlled one sided effects that, like,
well,
won't backfire. Like,
yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you get to choose
oh,
the cards you're
oh,
playing. It's out of class.
right.
This is
Yeah,
nothing
sorry.
like that.
Sorry. Okay. Giant brain fart. Thank you for clearing that
That's a
one.
different card you're thinking of.
Yeah, you're
Um,
right. You can determine which of the cards you draw that are randomly generated that you actually decide to play, though. But yeah, just hope you get minions. Basically, if you get a lot of randomly generated minions, this
don't draw this if you're playing against a rogue. Oh, important notes. If you card steal into a Death Knight, all of a sudden you're considered whatever class the Death Knight is. And,
um
and so you start playing a bunch of out of class cards.
oh, so that's how you, right? If you okay,
Like you
if
start
you
playing all your rogue cards because you're now you're now a priest.
okay, right. So that's the way you actually replay all the cards that you chose to build. Is you just have to steal a Death Knight.
Right, but not a rogue Death Knight. Again, if
Right.
you're playing against rogue, this card sucks.
Yeah.
I love this.
Cool card. But one criticism: does not throw rocks at your opponent if you're in a rogue mirror. All right. Thoughts on rogue overall?
I feel okay on rogue. I feel annoyed that there's no secret in here. I think I said that with the last set, but like introducing rogue secrets and not following up on it is kind of lame.
Yep. I think the big ones here, like I guess besides Tess, basically my top two: Blink Fox, Pickpocket.
I think Face Collector is very strong as well.
All
Anyway,
right, Shaman. So we lead off with Zap. 0 mana spell. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Overload 1. Yeah, 0 mana cards. I'm on board with that. This will get you, like, board presence, tempo lead quite easily. Like,
yeah,
basically backstab. Like,
yep, and it's also one of the better things to get off of later cards. So Shaman has a similar problem to Priest in that it lost a lot in rotation.
Witch's Apprentice. 1 mana, 0/2 taunt, beast. Battlecry at a random shaman spell to your hand. Somebody took the Hex Frog and just put a hat on it. That said, you want to cast a spell. Shaman spells aren't
Yeah.
as good as mage spells often, but
I mean, I think we say that, but I don't believe it. Because, like, Shatter was a mage spell for the 2 years that we said that, you know?
I mean, maybe similar results. I don't know. There's still like a number of cares about totems cards, and
But the weird point is that this is now like a shaman mechanic.
yeah, I'd like it more if it had an attack as well. But
I mean, wait, I don't need this thing to have anything else. I don't, like, this thing is exactly what I want. Like, I think asking for anything more on this is like, that's too much. It already drew you a card for 1 and left a body.
all right, I don't know. I just see Spellbook and that pirate that rotated and Swashbuckler and just feel this probably should have attack, but it's still a good card. All right, Ghostlight Angler, 2 mana, 2/2 Murloc Echo. So yeah, it doesn't have like the rush or the healing of the priest or hunter versions of 2 mana, 2 power Echo, but still good for the reasons all of those are good.
This is a scary board. You know, it can be like a fake doppelgangster.
Yeah, and I don't know if it makes Murloc Shaman viable, but
There's a quest that does exist, and this pays for it real quick.
That's true. Alright, Blazing Invocation. 1 mana spell, discover a battle cry minion. Pretty good.
The trick here is that cards with the word battle cry are generally good. So it's kind of like Finders Keepers in that way, where you're going to be getting a powerful effect from the subset it's looking at.
Yep.
So.
And basically helps you adjust your curve to what you want it to be at in a matchup, similar to
Yeah,
those
or
cards.
like late game, just find it's like, oh, look, Onyxia. Womp.
Earth and Might. 2 mana spell. Give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental to your hand. Oh, hey, it's Mark of Yasharj.
It's more you charge, but rather than drawing a card, you're getting another elemental.
Right, which in an elemental deck might be better, even. Yeah, this is quite good.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and it scares me a lot.
Alright, Merc Spark Eel. 2 mana, 2/3 beast. Battle Cry, if your deck has only even cost cards, deal 2 damage. Of note, this is the only evens cares about card besides Gen. And since we said Shaman Odd doesn't add a whole lot, it
Well,
kind
no,
of
no, no.
makes
Shaman Odd doesn't add a little. Yeah,
that
sorry.
playing even Shaman is probably, if you are doing one of those plans, this is one to go. And so, and as for the strength of this card itself, like, Flame Juggler was considered a pretty decent 2-drop.
It's a bit lame in my mind that this is not as strong as the Valet, but
Yeah,
it's
but you don't need to
very
play a
good
3-cost card before you play this, though, so.
It is a very good card.
Yeah. And is a beast. Is this the first time they've done Shaman Beasts?
Yeah, I think all the carrying cards, like the odd even carriers, were beasts.
Alright, on to the epics. Totem Cruncher. Oh, and I'll just point out again that last card, though, doesn't appear in Arena. Totem Cruncher. 4 mana, 2/3 taunt beast. Battle Cry. Destroy your totems. Gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. I mean, that might be a reason to be playing even Shaman.
I don't really like this card. Like, you eat one totem and then it's a 4 or 5, and that's pretty good.
Haunting Yeti.
Like that's pretty good if you can keep a totem in play. And let me tell you something about what. Yeah, huzzah! You know what most people do against shamans? Like, who lets you keep totems?
Yeah.
Like, who?
Or you could play this as 6 mana, 4/5 taunt, and that just feels bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like this because it involves your opponent letting you be in a good board state already for this card to be functional.
Fair point. Yeah, it looks strong, but I think I tried this once in an arena and just kind of underperformed. So, yeah, fair. Alright. Here's a card that doesn't underperform, though. Bog Shaper. 7 mana, 4/8 elemental. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. Hello, Gadget Zan.
Yeah, it's Gadget Zan, but targeted on its draw.
And
also
4 more health. And an
also
elemental.
has a big toughness. Yeah.
Yeah, it only draws minions, so you won't be drawing spells you can keep chaining like Gadget Zan, but, good value and hard to kill.
Yeah, I don't know. Because of the quality of elementals in Shaman, I'm not certain if you're playing, where you're playing this. Are you trying to play a combo deck with this?
I don't know if this is constructed playable, but it's quite good in Arena.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just fine. I think it's a pretty cool card.
Alright, and to start out our legends for Shaman. We have Hagatha the Witch, the only hero card in the set. 8 mana, gain 5 armor when played. Battle Cry, deal 3 damage to all minions, so it's a board sweep. And passive hero power, after you play a minion, add a random shaman spell to your hand.
Yeah, this just gives you endless removal.
Yeah, sweeper on play, which I appreciate because shaman kind of needs more sweepers. And just all your minions have like removal or something good attached to them. Like, I think I like this a lot better than Death Knight Thrall.
Well, Thrall lost Evolve, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's another problem. Like, Thrall's just so inconsistent. Like, this is honestly just like, fine, we'll give you a real hero card.
Yeah. So, I'm a fan of this one pretty heavily.
Yeah, although chat mentions good finisher for deck that doesn't exist. Like, Shaman, as you mentioned, Shaman has problems right now.
I disagree. I have seen this card played against me. Like, I feel like this is a real card.
Okay. I mean, certainly strong. Like, it's a Death Knight. Or not, it's a hero card. Those are generally pretty over curve. Can this one show up in Arena? I don't think it can.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Missed that note. And speaking of cards with notes, Shudderwalk. 9 mana 6/6. Battle Cry. Repeat all other battle cries from cards you played this game. Targets chosen randomly. Note, in a future game update will be capped at 20 copied effects per Shudderwalk battle cry, but is currently unlimited. I think just about everything that needed to be said about this card has already been said, so instead I will just leave you all with this image for my thoughts. Your thoughts, Slio?
I hate this thing's call out. I hate it. This thing's call out sucks. The card itself, I don't think there's actually any meaningful difference between 20 and unlimited.
Yeah. Because you're playing a whole bunch of them. You're not actually playing a single one.
The combo deck currently has weaknesses because Shaman has a lot of weaknesses. But the combo deck will exist for 2 more years, so we'll see how that changes.
Right.
But yeah, I just...
Yeah, this deck's almost non-existent on ladder now just because aggro defeats it so thoroughly. But yeah, if for the 1 or 2 of you who've never seen this deck, you basically have a deck that you play a whole bunch of this, copying itself with Sarnite Chain Gang, bounce them all to your hand at 0 cost, using a legend from an older set, and then WinCon is like a neutral card we'll see later that sucks life. But
anyway, Shudderwalk.
So, Shaman overall?
Like I said, it lost a lot. I think it actually did get some pretty strong pieces. I like the frog. I like Zap. I actually like all its commons and even like the battle cry thing. I feel like it. I don't think odd, and I don't think the totem stuff does a lot.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's still missing some pieces to be back at a strong place. Like, Shaman as a class kind of needs strong cards to go with it because its hero power sucks so bad.
Yeah, and like for constructed, it's basically it got Shudderwalk and I guess Hagatha. Like, I don't think elementals are real enough, and for arena, like a lot of these cards are actually pretty real for arena, but Shaman lost so much that it's like not a good spot for arena right now. All right, Warlock, Witchwood Imp, 1 mana 1/1 demon, stealth, death rattle, give a random friendly minion +2 health. Sort of like an old blood imp-ish.
Yeah.
Like it can attack.
I think this card's kind of neat. It's pretty useful if you were playing a Warlock aggro deck, which really, there's only one in Warlock that can construct it these days, and that's a bit sad, but this is a pretty neat card.
Duskbat. 3 mana, 2/4 beast. Battlecry. If your hero took damage this turn, summon 2 1/1 bats. So that's kind of a theme for Warlock. This set is cares about your hero being damaged this turn. Sure, 3 mana, 2/4 with 2 1/1s is pretty good, although, like, you're not actually going to be playing it on 3 if you're damaging yourself. But
Yeah.
fine arena card. Probably even would play it in a Zulok constructed.
I don't know if you'd have enough. Like you might have enough to play it in constructed, but like this is not as strong as Imp Gang Boss. But I do like it. It's all right.
Beast. And the bats are even beasts. Fiendish Circle. 4 mana spell. Summon 4 1/1 imps. You know, when I used to play with this card, it also had deal 4 damage to a minion on it.
Yeah, weird. The last time I played with this card, it was an X spell.
Kind of underwhelmed by this. It's fine in arena. Dark Possession. 1 mana spell. Deal 2 damage to a friendly character. Discover a demon. So, basically similar evaluation to how I gave that Discover a Battlecry card in Shaman, except, like, you're life tapping to do this, or not even necessarily if you have just a minion you want to put 2 damage on. And also a lot of demons are good. Like, there are some bad ones, but in seeing 3 of them, you'll probably see a good one.
Yep. Strong card. I like this. I'm a big fan of, like, every card of that archetype. The, like, 1 mana discover a card class has been a strong card for a long time.
Yep.
You know?
Alright. Curse of Weakness. 2 mana echo spell. Give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next turn. So, forget, what is it? Shrinking Potion?
Pint-sized.
Pint-sized potion. Like, what if you could do that a whole bunch of times to make your trades really good, and also then your opponent's onboard things hit back for nothing? Like, this is good trades and a fog attached.
Yes. That's its secret, is that it's so good in like aggressive decks. You get to make your trades for free. In defensive, like control-y decks, you just get to go, you know what? This turn nothing happens. I'm not taking any damage. Your aggro is off. Like, this is a strong piece. And then it even has some like combos with there's a card later that it can combo with. It's a Shadow Word Horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one-sided. It's great.
Like, I'd be on the fence about picking pint size in arena. I'd absolutely pick this pretty highly in Warlock arena. As for constructed, I haven't seen it a whole lot, only because I think the one Warlock deck doesn't really have room for this.
I've seen it in that deck. Like, I have specifically seen it in Q Block as like a one-of.
Guess different bills may or may not play.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's like, I've also seen so many different variations on
right.
Q Block.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see this being played. I just haven't run into it very much. Alright, Blood Witch. 4 mana, 3/6. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to your hero. So, Water Elemental Body, although with a downside, air quotes, that you could potentially turn into an upside with things like Duskbat, like a way to make Duskbat actually be 3 mana for full value, but
I don't think there's enough things this turns on for me to be excited about it.
yeah, basically same. Like, probably a decent enough body to play in arena, and beyond that, yeah. Alright, Epics. Ratcatcher. 3 mana, 2/2 rush. Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion and gain its attack and health. So, I think the secret about this thing is, really this is 3 mana, buff a minion +2/+2, and also can be a 2/2 rush on its own.
Whoa! I think that's completely ignoring the dominant deck in Warlock. You're aware that the dominant deck in Warlock really loves eating its own minions all the time,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Right, yeah, kind
like
of.
like
Kind of.
cube and void lords and cubes have
Right.
void lords and I eat my cube
Yeah.
and
I guess I was
yeah,
thinking in terms of arena for this. But yeah, also triggers death rattle effects. Kind
yeah,
of important.
yeah. So it's in constructed. It's stronger than it looks. In arena, I think it's basically what you say.
Yeah.
So
Fine. Open up your cube and also make it into a 6/8. Fine.
yep.
Alright. Deathweb Spider. 5 mana 4/6 beast. Battlecry, if your hero took damage this turn, gain lifesteal. Fine body on its own for arena. Just as 5 mana 4/6, and if you life tap into it and actually give it lifesteal, pretty good. Don't think it's constructed playable.
Yeah, I like this card a lot because it's a good payoff for like the loot, dealing damage to yourself because of how the mechanic works, the life steal is going to immediately pay back. So,
All right, on to Warlock's legendaries, and these are probably worth some time talking about. So first, Glinda Crowskin, 6 mana 3/7. Minions in your hand have Echo. So
you need to kill this on sight really fast, and you probably can't because they're already doing something.
So I'm thinking something along. I don't actually know if this is a real deck. It's probably not, but something along the lines of play this, have a summoning portal in hand that you echo into a couple more summoning portals, then like drop a few Malagoses into play, and one shot your opponent. Question mark. I don't know. I'm probably in dreamland here thinking about that one, but
Well, I think that the trick is you don't need to go that far into this to make it do some really dumb like things. Trying to think of what's the name of what's the Prince? What's Prince 3?
the copy one.
Yeah. But like something like that, which or just like odd value cards 4 or 5 times in a row, especially off the back of off the back of Summoning Portal.
Oh, right. So yeah, so what if your actual thing is Glinda, Summoning Portal, Leroy, copy, or just a couple Leroys.
Yeah, or like even something that's like Sea Giants.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things you can already do with this, and this is a card that's going to exist for 2 years. Like at some point, like 6 months from now, some card's gonna like show up in Warlock, and it's gonna be like, wait, oh no.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And the other one worth talking about, Lord Godfrey, 7 mana 4/4. Battlecry, deal 2 damage to all other minions. If any die, repeat this Battlecry. So, Defile's a good card. What if you doubled the power on that to make it even sweepier, and also make it that a 4/4 comes down through the sweeper? And then what if also this could also be used as a tool for popping open your cubes?
It's strange that they just printed Deathwing as a 7-drop that doesn't discard your hand, but that's what this is like 90% of the time is just Deathwing that also leaves a 4/4 and didn't discard your hand. This card's incredibly strong. Like, I one of the strongest cards in the set.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
And absolutely would pick this in arena if presented with it too, so.
Oh god, again, it's a Deathwing, like, that doesn't discard your hand.
Yeah. So, thoughts on Warlock overall? I would say incredibly strong options between Dark Possession, Curse of Weakness, Ratcatcher, Glinda, and Godfrey.
I feel like they are trying to balance the pendulum backwards after having like they're still pushing Warlock. I think like the next set or the set after it, we're gonna see Warlock with 9 awful cards, you know. But here we have Warlock that's very good, and not just in the one deck that's very good. Like, you know, obviously Q Block is the deck, but there's a number of cards in here that are interesting in their own right. I really like the 4/6 that gains life steal. I'm a big fan of Curse of Weakness and the 1 mana like discover a demon card.
Right, yeah. Like
And,
there's even some zoo options. Like
yeah, so
zoo probably not viable now, but options. But yeah, this power creep is basically just like started last set, continued with this set because discard lock was basically the worst thing in the world. And
I very much like the direction of damaging yourself for effects. We had that in the last set with Cobalt Librarian, which is like an auto 2 of an
yeah,
almost
so yeah, Cobalt Librarian, the 2/4 taunt. And basically, if, as you said, they're probably going to start swinging the pendulum back after this set. Like, they even have an easy time of it. They just need to start pushing discard lock more again.
print fake cards again. But yeah, as is, I think Warlock is in a good position with this set.
And with
Obviously, it's like the strongest,
yeah.
you know,
And
constructed.
one more class to get through, Warrior. So, first up, Warpath. 2 mana spell, Echo, deal 1 damage to all minions. So, like, at 10 mana, it's like a Dragon Fire potion, basically. Like,
This is a very strong piece for Warrior because it gives them a like sweeper effect that's kind of toggleable or it's variable, you know, and also fits in with the like, you know, damaging my own minions.
yeah,
Plan.
so here's the secret about why this thing isn't just a Dragonfire is because you can stagger when the damage happens. So you can say, I put down your taunter to just enough attack that I can then trade in my guy that would die if I played this one more time, and then make some other optimal trades, then pop down another damage, like the sequencing control.
In that way, this is like a less. It's similar in play to Defile, though obviously way more expensive and less controllable or more controllable. Defile, like just, you know, you need to have everything set up correctly before you go. This you can sort of interrupt in between, and also you can use it for things like I have a Frothing Berserker, and I play this 3 times. You know.
Yep. That said, despite the flexibility, I think this is still kind of too expensive. Like, I'd honestly prefer, like, 1.5 is about the mana cost I'd want on this. Like, something maybe like 3 mana, 2 damage.
If this were 3 mana and the same effect, you might see it more, because then Odd Warrior, which is a strong deck, would play it. That said, every warrior I've ever run into that is not playing the Baku has shown me this card, because you have to have a constructed answer to, like, paladins.
Yeah.
You have to.
Anti-aggro option, you play it because you got it. That's completely fair. All right, Woodcutter's Axe. 2 mana, 2/2 weapon. Death Rattle. Give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. So, what was that Shaman Power Mace?
Power Mace is a good comparator to this. Also, sort of like a Glaive Zuga's kind of like in the sense that it's a pumping 2 mana 2/2. Glaive Zuga obviously is immediate and not very restricted. Hard to immediately say how good this card is, like with what we've seen, because we haven't seen a single rush card that, like, how many rush cards does?
Right, depends on the rush cards or how you evaluate this, but even 2 mana 2/2 weapons fine.
Yeah, we've seen, you know, Jade Claws and Stormwind Axe played. So
how about this to start off rush cards? Rabid Worgen. 3 mana, 3/3 rush.
That's
So
this is the dream with it.
yeah, because then it becomes you play this and attack immediately, and then turn 3, 5/4 rush. So, which is like, I mean, that's this on its own, like 3 mana, 3/3, yeah, but it can deal its damage immediately. Sure, like might even live through something. Like that's good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this card because like you play this, you bump your opponent's River Crocodile can get a body.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
More rush cards. Red Band Wasp. 2 mana, 1/3 beast. Rush. Has +3 attack while damaged.
Can we mention this keyword died?
Yeah, Enrage is,
Okay.
I don't know if we mentioned it on the stream, but Enrage is gone. This is how it's phrased now. This is hard to get online.
Yeah, you kind of need to be playing against like a paladin where you want to be like, you know, where they have a 1/1 for you to just go like pop and now you have a 4/2 on the board.
Yeah. So in that sense, good against like 1/1s, but not great against anything else.
Yeah. So
More rush. And hey, this one is, wow. Militia Commander, 4 mana, 2/5 rush. Battle Cry, +3 attack this turn. So, yeah, 5 damage to a minion that might leave you with a 2 power thing. Like,
yeah, I like this a
this does some
lot.
serious cleanup.
Yeah, talk about the cleanup crew. The agent. When I say cleanup crew, I'm always talking about Stormwind Knight. Is that the name of the card? The
Yeah,
2/5 with charge, and like cards like that where it's like this quick minion that comes in and kills something small. Well, this is a quick minion that comes in and kills something huge, and then like leaves a body behind.
yeah. I'll note that games I've lost to Warriors were often because this came down on 4 and basically took the board.
Yeah.
Festeroot Hulk, 5 mana, 2/7. After a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. So for on 5 mana, you're looking at 4/7. So basically, if you can play this into a board where you have 2 minions out that are going to attack, you're getting value, and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, this is a scary threat if it sticks around. Like, because it gets really big really quick, especially since we just saw every card with Rush in the world. Um, I don't know if this is something that is like a constructed card, like in the sense that you would build around, but I am. This is a credible threat.
Yeah. Also of note, buffs itself after attacks, although does the damage first.
Oh. All right.
Town Crier. 1 mana, 1/2. Battle Cry, draw a rush minion from your deck. So I think you were just talking about narrow tutors. Well, here's another one.
Yeah. No, not only that, but this is unlike a lot of the narrow tuners we're going to see in this set. A lot of them are real expensive. The one we did see was a 6-drop. Another one we'll see. Another 2 that we'll see later are 4-drops. This is a novice engineer for 1 pre-nerf.
Yeah, what the heck?
Like, if you have rush cards in your deck, this is well worth including because it's a novice engineer for 1 unnerfed. For those not aware, novice engineer, the 2 mana 1/1 that draws a card, used to be a 1/2 5 years ago.
Deck thinning.
Yeah, so you draw a militia captain, you draw, or maybe you draw a later rush card. So
Yeah, so I think, as we mentioned, Rogue had the highest percentage of caring about Echo. Warrior has the highest amount of caring about Rush.
yeah, by far.
So, other rogue or warrior epic, Deadly Arsenal. 6 mana spell, reveal a weapon from your deck, deal its attack to all minions. So, I'm okay with warrior getting more sweepers.
Is this graveyard art?
From WoW TCG?
Like, I don't know. Something about this art, like, screams that I've seen this before.
Let's see.
Well, it's Wayne Reynolds.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. This looks like something out of a D&D manual, as Medibot points out. Like, this has to be, like, I don't know. This screams graveyard art.
I feel anyway, like he's done this pose on a Magic the Gathering card before. Like, we can look at that later, but
yeah, that's sorry. An aside on the card.
But sweepers, like, inconsistent. Obviously, it does nothing if you have no weapons left in your deck. So, need to be playing a decent number. And also, it's all minions, 2-sided sweeper. But, like, if you've got if you have a bunch of big weapons, could be more consistent than Brawl.
Well, if you have a Gorehowl / Arcanite Reaper, you know.
Right. Is Control Warrior real, though? Well, we'll maybe ask that question.
Yes.
When we get to the end of this set.
Okay, the problem is that Control Warrior is pretty real, I think. But it depends on being odd.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of this class. Okay, Darius Crowley. Oh, hey, it's the Cannoneer guy, but doesn't actually fire any cannons. 5 mana 4/4 rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. This is basically, what is that card called? Boogie Monster?
Yeah.
That done right. This card is actually quite real, because it's like immediate removal, leaves with a body. Like, this is more akin to like a fire elemental or something.
Yeah, and it's tutorable, as we've seen with a really easy 1-mana card. The cards this reminds me of is not as much Boogie Monster, but that is what it is doing mechanically. But cards like the 5 mana 4/4 with Inspire, +2/+2, or the wand of the eyeball that was whenever you damage yourself, +2/+2, from way back. Like, those are both old cards from like wild years ago.
But also, this kills a thing immediately. Probably.
Oh yeah. You play this, you kill a thing, you get like a 6/3 to stick around, and then like the idea is that they have to like 2-for-1 on it.
Yep.
Floating Watcher, thank you.
Good card.
Cavaldir Raider, I want to say, is the other one.
And next card, if Duskfallen Aviana wasn't in this set, I might call this one of the worst cards in the set. Black Howl Gunspire, 7 mana 3/8. Can't attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Ragnaros is weeping.
Well, no, see, this is... when I first saw this card, I was really, really confused by the power of this card. I realized that this card is basically created for, like, montage videos of... I played a Bouncing Blade with this in play, and my opponent took 24.
Or a million whirlwinds. Yeah, it can be.
I played this, copied it 3 times after Emperor Thalrizian went off, and then whirlwinded 3 times.
It can be burstier, like deal more damage at once per turn, like you control when it happens. The problem with this thing, though, is that 3 attack, your opponent just might be attacking into it with things that are living and killing it. Like, whereas at least Ragnaros has 8 attack to make that trading into it a problem.
Yeah. This is very, very specific styles of deck, and a lot of them are going to be a little bit more, like, funky, not competitive styles, but, like, you know, I clear the board and then play this in Bouncing Blade. I become a Death Knight and flip my hero power a bunch and just kind of keep the board clear.
I mean, to wit, there are videos of people make of winning games off Temporous, so that's about how I feel about this card.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Warrior?
I think I agree with you, though. I don't think this card is terribly great.
Thoughts on Warrior? A lot of rush
Yeah,
and some sweepers.
yeah, I'm liking it.
And
Going to note, Benak pointed out and found that the Deadly Arsenal is graveyard art from the WoW TCG. It is a card called Strength of Arms from the Outland expansion.
cool. Okay.
So, which
Good
I
on you for
don't think
noticing
we've
that.
had. Yeah, I don't think we've had graveyard art in here for a while now. So, anyway,
Warrior, sweepers, rush, decent, probably control-y job. Like, rush is a kind of control-y mechanic, like for
yeah,
cleaning up.
funky that one of the biggest cards Warrior got is not in here yet. It's neutral.
Right. Tank up.
But like Baku gives us, Warrior with that upgraded hero power was very good. And there's some strong decks that play around that. There's also some strong control decks that just play normal control game along with like the Echo Sweeper and some other things. So anyway,
Yeah, so we're now through class cards, so we've got 45 neutrals still to get through, so we're like exactly 2/3. But
yeah,
I think we want to pick up the lightning round part of this lightning round review,
yep.
especially going into neutrals that are kind of
Well,
simpler.
I feel like neutrals will be able to sweep through these a lot quicker. So,
But just last thought on Warrior, though, is there actually were a number of control pieces last set that weren't really played because Control Warrior just wasn't viable last set, but something I'm keeping an eye on.
again, there was a card from previous set that was like 3 mana, burn all your armor, sweep with it, which is a lot stronger when you have tank up.
Yeah, it is. All right, neutrals. Start with commons. Swamp Egg, Swamp Egg, Swamp Egg, Swamp Egg, Swamp Egg, Swamp Egg. 1 mana, 0/3. Death Rattle, add a random dragon to your hand. Dragons are good. Bone Drake has proven dragons are good. This is an egg, though, so once again, hard to get working.
Yeah, I think the secret of this card is that it's not actually that good, but dragons are very strong. So,
Swamp Leech. 1 mana, 2/1 beast. Lifesteal. Rexar power up.
yeah, I was gonna say this card only exists for Rexar. The actual problem with this is that if you play it on curve, it doesn't do. It has no ability. You're at 30.
I've seen Beast Hunters kind of sort of playing this, although I'm not sure why. Maybe
I think they are making a mistake.
possibly just because 1 mana, 2/1 beast as like a fiery bat type thing. I don't know.
I disagree heavily because right now the meta that I have seen, if you're playing 2/1s, you are doing the wrong side of things. I've seen Dire Mole in multiple constructed decks. You don't play X1s, you play 1Xs.
Yeah, which is one we'll get to as well. But yeah, just because I've seen it doesn't make it correct, and it's probably, you're absolutely right. All right, Lost Spirit. 2 mana, 1/1, Death Rattle, give your minions +1 attack. I actually thought this was a Witchwood boss card, and then I saw this and I'm like, wait, this is a real card. Reminds me of those, like, what is it, Spawn of N'Zoth type things. Not terribly impressed.
Yeah, it's like a worse Spawn of N'Zoth because it's a lot easier for your opponent to trigger at the wrong time. Yeah. I didn't even like the N'Zoth guy that much.
Vicious Scalehide. 2 mana, 1/3 beast with lifesteal and rush. Paladin cleanup crew. Rexar upgrade. Is that a dog or a lizard?
That's a dog. It's a happy dog. Now this is the lifesteal card that I have seen a lot of. Quest Rogue, uses this as a resurgence.
Dear
because
Lord.
all of a sudden, because when you get your quest on and you can play a 5/5 rush lifesteal, it makes up for how far behind you are in the game. It also is just a pretty solid, again, like a more of a beast style. This is the beast I think you would be a lot more interested in pumping and such. So,
yep. So
yeah.
Spell Shifter. All right, we're gonna get all these are in neutral. 2 mana, 1/4, spell damage +1. Each turn this is in your hand, swap its attack and health. Rip Dalaran Mage.
Even then, like...
Still not impressed. Like, 2 mana, 1/4 is technically on curve. Or 4/1, but 4/1 has that problem of dying too easily. Cheap,
right, and it's a 4/1 half the
spell
time.
damage. This isn't going to replace Thalnos, I don't think.
No.
Blackwalled Pixie. 3 mana, 3/4. Battlecry, refresh your hero power. Spider Tank with upside. Play in an arena.
I'm in. Give me Spider Tank with upside, and I will play any number.
Hinge Clan Thug. 3 mana, 3/3. After your hero attacks, give this minion +1/+1.
I forgot the rogue border on this card, I think.
Yeah, so playing rogue or even another weapon class that just has a weapon early, like played on an earlier turn, and just straight up 3 mana 4/4. And if you're actually in rogue or can keep attacking, like good. Like, I've heard this is played in almost every like weapon class and constructed.
Yeah, well, clearly, like, obviously Rogue's going to be the one that makes the best use of it because it doesn't even need the help of cards. It just goes hero power on 2. And weird, I wonder if there was, like, a way that you could upgrade your hero power and you were only playing, like, cards of a specific mana cost in your deck so that play would look a lot better for you. But then, like, Hunter also has Candle Shot, which plays well with this. And, like, Eagle Horn Bow. So there's... Yeah. This is a strong card in weapon classes, obviously not in non-weapon classes. So, yep.
Marshdrake. 3 mana 5/4 dragon. Battlecry, summon a 2/1 poisonous Drake Slayer for your opponent. I don't think I can give linking permission in my chat. Sorry guys, I have to like be a mod to do that. Send me a link on Discord and I'll post it. Okay, sorry about that. So Marshdrake. Right. So this 3 mana 5/4 good, summoning poisonous not good. Basically play rogue and have a weapon up, and this is fantastic. Or have like druid or mage and spend the extra mana to kill it.
Yeah, or have a board presence like a 1/1 to trade off. Don't play this into an empty board and don't kill the Dragon Slayer. You're going to feel really sad.
All right. So yeah, I just want to comment on this thing. This is actually somewhat of a theme in here of like hunted. It's basically the hunted mechanic for Magic the Gathering. But, yep. Like, there's a couple cards like that. I guess they technically did it first with Leroy, but yeah. So, how good this is depends entirely on what class you're in.
Yep.
All right. Next card. Pumpkin Peasant. 3 mana, 2/4 lifesteal. Each turn's in hand. Swap attack and health. Fine. Played in arena. I don't know if it's great.
I don't even know if I'd want this in arena. I'm not impressed very much by this.
Yeah, slightly under curve. If it was a spider tank, absolutely, but Tangle for Mystic. 3 mana 3/4. Battlecry, add a random 2-cost minion to each player's hand. Hey, more spider tanks. It's basically Spellslinger, but neutral and for 2-cost minions. I'd play it.
I like this one a lot as well. It's a symmetrical effect that you get the first shot at using, but in multiple ways. Like, you have the board presence to beat their 2-cost minion. You get to play the 2-coster if it's on turn 5. You know, things like that.
Ravencaller. 3 mana 2/1. Battlecry, add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. Birds. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, yeah, value, but at the same time, 3 mana 2/1 and 1-cost minions, not the greatest. Like,
yeah,
underwhelming.
Less impressed by this one.
Walnut Sprite. Don't look at the art directly. 3 mana, 3/3 Echo. You know what? Not as good as those 2 mana, 2 power Echoes in terms of versatility, but still a dang fine card, good early, mid, and late game. So,
Right. The one of the powers of Echo is you top deck it's late game. We're in the top deck war stage. Oh look, 9 power and toughness.
yep,
Off of this terrifying walnut.
it's an Echo card, so it's probably good. Or an Echo minion.
Yep.
Felsoul Inquisitor, 4 mana, 1/6 lifesteal taunt demon. So Mogushan Warden with a point of health change to lifesteal. All I can think of is this with, as you mentioned, Lady in White, but
Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not impressed by Mogushan, and I'm not impressed by Mogushan that gains me 2 life.
yep. I guess decent buff body, or buff starting body for like paladins maybe too, but anyways. Swift Messenger, 4 mana, 2/6 rush. Each turn this card is in your hand, swap its attack and health. Now this is where I start liking the rush cards, because either this is like Stormwind Champion with 1 more health, or just like a fireball of removal.
Yeah, I agreed as well. This is on either of its modes strong for its cost. Top end removal or low end removal, depending on what the turn is. Its only problem being that, like, you might be stuck in those situations where you need one and have the other and have to wait a turn.
Yep. Upward Steambot, 4 mana, 0/9 taunt mech. One of, I believe, only 3 mechs in this set. Also, now, talking before about Felsoul being, like, kind of only useful if you're doing Lady in White. This is basically only ever useful if you're doing Lady in White.
Yeah, '09 ain't winning any contests outside of that.
0 power taunt, like,
Gonna spoil things. If you want, like, neutral taunt, you actually have a lot better options in this set. And also, if you're playing constructed and wanted force drop taunters, how long can this go on? Will probably treat you a lot better.
Alright, next card. Clockwork Automaton, the second of the mechs in this set. 5 mana, 4/4 mech. Double the damage and healing of your hero power. So, okay, Prophet Velen is now just a neutral common that everybody can get for cheaper.
For the hero powers only, though.
Right. Hero powers only, but,
Don't play this in Warlock. Unless you're already flipped into Gul'dan, like, the Death Knight.
yeah, so
then do it.
about the dumbest thing I've seen this card used for is Wild Druid, actually, I've seen now use this card. As you may be familiar with the old Coon Aviana shenanigans, where you like Coon Aviana into like Malagos and then just deal a bunch of damage. Yeah. So now the new plan is you go something along the lines of Coon Aviana, play this, put it inside of a cube, and play Major Domo Executus.
Ah, there we go.
And then duplicate your cubes. And then once that's all said and done, like by playing 2, like I guess Facelesses on there, and then drop
it. You don't even need to. You're on 32 with just 2 of these on that.
Yeah, and then you drop a Deathwing, which then blows up all your cubes, opens it up. You have an entire board full of Clockwork Automatons, and you get a Ragnaros hero power that does like 16 times damage.
Yep.
And your opponent has an empty board, so it'll always go face.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyways, I spent too much time explaining that combo that I probably could have just posted a video of, but hey. All right.
This is a pretty cool card. It is in the arena. It can be very dangerous with like giving Hunter powerful reach or giving Mage like powerful removal.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't play this in Warlock unless you have the Death Knight.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
All right. Now here's probably some of the good taunt you were referring to. Rotten Apple Bomb.
Yep.
5 mana, 4/5 taunt. Death Rattle. Restore 4 health to your hero.
Those things are common.
Yeah, like shielded mini, or not, sorry, antique heal bot with like a less healing, but like taunt to absorb more of the damage and a decent body. Like, yes. Yeah, it's Death Rattle. But
it's funny that I think this card would be like unprintably strong about a year and a half ago. And here I just think it's strong, you know?
what was a year and a half ago, or was that just before we had all the Warlock Infinite Taunt shenanigans?
Well, like N'Zoth existed, more specifically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a world where this was N'Zoth exists.
yeah.
A world where like this was enough of a speed bump.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
That said, putting this in a cube's pretty good.
yeah. Put a lot of things in a cube's good stuff.
Next, Darkmire Moonkin. 7 mana, 2/8. Spell damage +2. You know, kind of impressive that Myexna, who has Poisonous, only costed 6 mana. That spell damage value, this costs too much. It's simple.
Yeah. This costs too much to really do anything. You should probably kill it if you see it, I suppose. Like, don't let it sit around or you're going to take a Flame Strike for 6, but...
Yeah, but like, if you're really doing this, just go all out and go for Malagos. Like, come on. Alright, next card. Furious Etten. 7 mana, 5/9 taunt. Bog Creeper's still a good card.
Yeah. Weird. You can stat shift Bog Creeper and it still beats you.
Wormguard. 7 mana, 3/11. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, it's instead of 4/11 taunt.
Oh, good. It's another Bog Creeper. How you doing? Seriously. I would actually wager this is something that, like, if there were a dragon-style deck, this could see some play in it.
Yeah. Just, is there a dragon-style deck?
If.
Yeah. Cauldron Elemental. 8 mana, 7/7 Elemental. Your other elementals have +2 attack. Haven't really seen this played in an elemental constructed deck, probably because it's too expensive, but probably decent in Arena if you have a high concentration of elementals.
It as far as like constructed goes, I've seen this like generated off of that shaman card.
Yeah.
And in there, it's like, oh god, that's kind of big.
Yeah, or
like,
for that matter, yeah, you mentioned I've seen it generated off of what's it, the elemental that discovers an elemental, or
yeah, elemental that discovers an elemental, or the +2/+2 generate a random elemental, and this is like, you know, a big end for that, which maybe that's its most purpose. This ain't no like force tank max in Arena,
but like Behold the Might of Stormwind ish.
Yeah. Ish.
Deranged Doctor, 8 mana, 8/8. Death Rattle, restore 8 health to your hero. Probably not as good as Tree.
Yeah, it's more like a war golem. I wouldn't feel like the worst in the world about playing.
Phantom Militia.
Oof.
3 mana, 2/4 Echo Taunt. You know, a 3 mana 2/4 taunt's pretty good already. 2 of them at 6, annoying. 3 of them at 9, annoying. This after a summoning portal. Yeah, okay.
How long can this go on? Like, forever. It can actually go on forever.
Basically, this is probably the best thing to, like, Echo combo with summoning portal, right?
Yeah. This card turned Quest Warrior into a real deck again.
Huh?
Because, like, it's almost half your quest.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very strong anti-aggro tool. As we talked about late game, it's 12 toughness on the top deck. Play is good. Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out for a second there.
But yeah. Just plays good at every speed.
Yep. Good in Arena, good in Constructed even. Life Drinker. 4 mana, 3/3 Beast. Battlecry. Deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Restore 3 health to your hero. Why something in the back of my mind says this should be a 4/5.
Right? No siege rhinos here.
Like, on the one hand, kind of blows stuff like Priestess of Elune and Nightblade out of the water, and is part of the Shutterwalk combo as a finisher. On the other hand, Priestess of Elune and and whatever, I don't even remember Nightblade. I don't even remember the name of the card I just said. It's that good. Are not really impressive cards, and 4 mana 3/3 under curve. Not impressed.
Yeah, this is part of that combo deck and basically nothing else.
Mad Hatter, 4 mana 3/2. Battle Cry, randomly toss 3 hats to other minions. Each hat gives +1/+1. Pay your hatters well.
I like this card because it's a bomber. I don't think it's good, but I like this card because it's a bomber.
Secret about this card, if you're the only one who controls minions, you can totally control the outcome of this.
It's really good if you're actually on an empty board. You know, if you go like, I don't know, either Shaman or Paladin Hero Power this into an empty board, you feel pretty good.
Yeah. Basically a Blessing of Kings then.
Yeah, so.
Or 3/4. Night Prowler. 4 mana 3/3 beast. Oh, actually, was that the end of commons? No, we're already in rares. Sorry. 4 mana 3/3 beast. Battle Cry, if this is the only minion in the battlefield, meaning both sides, gain +3/+3. On the one hand, 4 mana 6/6. On the other hand, it's probably most of the time a 4 mana 3/3, which isn't good.
It has to be both sides. That's the killer here. I don't know why, but this for a long time was in the like really high pick arena cards. And like, I don't know if it's just my evaluation versus everybody else's, but I do not think this is a high pick in arena. Like, it's like, oh yes, this versus Flame Strike. And it's like, look.
Yeah, okay. Like, I guess it's decent after trades, but like,
If you
complete full trades, is that actually going to be on 4 though? Probably not. Scaleworm, 4 mana 4/4 beast. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and rush. Lost Tall Strider Rush, good. 4 mana 4/4 passable.
I like the name because I think of it as like a scale bird, but it's a scale worm. But we don't see it next to anything like how big is this worm?
Yeah. Problems here. Dragons, still not real. Also, is not a dragon itself, is a beast.
Yeah.
Witchwood Piper, 4 mana 3/3. Battlecry, draw the lowest cost minion from your deck. So, more narrow tutors?
Yeah, more narrow tutors. That's good. Like, again, you might find like a combo deck that wants to be able to draw some specific 1 or 2 drop.
Yeah.
So
Alternatively, like, it's also just 4 mana 3/3 cycle, which is probably fine, although they make up for that with, well, actually, I'd say that's decently strong, but made up for the fact that it's the lowest cost minion in your deck, so probably not a whole lot of value, but
right, or maybe it is, depending on if you built how you built. So
yeah. I don't think I've actually seen this used as a tutor for any kind of deck yet, but definitely, like, I'd probably be fine playing this in arena, even though it's under curve on stats.
yeah.
Alright, Chief Inspector, 5 mana 4/6. Battlecry, destroy all enemy secrets. Exists because Eater of Secrets is gone.
This card always has to exist, so here it is.
Fine body. I don't like it as much as a tech card because it's so expensive, but
I do like that it's at least a playable card on cost.
also blowing up secrets not as big of a thing you have to worry about now that Ice Block's gone, but
Yep.
Witchwood Grizzly, 5 mana, 3/12, Taunt, Beast. Battle Cry, lose a health for each card in your opponent's hand. So, to get value, you'd have it be like a 3/7, which means 5 cards in opponent's hand.
Yeah, so the way this functions that when it battle cries, it counts how many cards are in your opponent's hands and then does the reverse like Twilight Drake thing where it gets weaker based on how many cards they have in hand. This is the best top deck in the actual universe in a late game. Like it's a 3/11 or 3/12 at that point. Like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, for top deck wars.
Yeah, but yeah, and like if your opponent has to have 6 cards in hand to make this a Fen Creeper. So I like it.
Right. Constructed has some problems because hand-heavy druids and warlocks are things.
Yeah. Well, just evolve into it then. Like that's
But against paladins, you're probably feeling pretty good.
yeah.
Gilnean Royal Guard, 8 mana, 3/8 Divine Shield Rush. Each turn in your hand, swap attack and health. Actually, the best cleanup crew in the world.
Yeah, she's the most annoying lady. Does a very good impression of a Argent Commando, but being able to be like, hey, nice Lich King, crunch, like.
Yeah, 8's a lot, but
8 is huge.
But on the 8/3 side, decent, honestly, impersonation like a force tank.
Yeah. And I don't actually feel too bad about the 3/8 side because as long as like you're using it to do some cleanup crew style stuff. That's a little expensive for cleanup crew, but ain't the worst.
On to epics. Baleful Banker, 2 mana, 2/2. Battle Cry, choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy of it into your deck. So Gang Up is now a neutral minion for 1 copy.
Well, we used to have a spider tank that did this in Mage.
2 mana, 2/2s ain't great. And what exactly are you shuffling in?
Yeah, you want the actual answer to that question?
Sure. I'm sure
Doomguards and Void Lords.
Yeah, okay.
You're shuffling in more copies of Doomguards and Void Lords so your lackeys aren't off. It's not every cube deck. I have seen this in like a couple cube decks.
Completely valid.
So.
Alright. Nightmare Amalgam, 3 mana, 3/4, Spider Tank, and the last mech in the set. Minion type all. New mechanic. This is an elemental mech, demon, murloc, dragon, beast, pirate, and totem. So, crab delicacy.
Oh yeah, crabs love this. It does have like perfect synergy with everything. And there are decks where that's worthwhile.
Perfect synergy for every archetype, also dies to every archetype hate card.
Yeah, that's more of a problem in the arena, honestly, where there's that pirate eating crab still.
Yep. And a thing that deals 6 damage to a dragon.
Yeah. But yeah, Changeling is pretty cool, and Spider Tank is a good body, so.
Voodoo Doll. 3 mana, 1/1. Battle Cry, choose a minion. That's basically what the card is most of the time. Death Rattle, destroy the chosen minion, but like this is like a corrupt. Your opponent just trades it into something else. Like you need a way to actually kill this thing right away for it to be a removal spell, which means it's probably fine in Mage and not really in anything else.
Well, in Mage, it's kind of like
Assassinate.
A cheaper polymorph that doesn't polymorph. Assassinate, yeah. But I've seen this in Warlocks because they have either like Mortal Coil or Defile to be able to use this.
Right, or even like, yeah.
Or even like if they've Death Knighted, they can hero power the Voodoo Doll to knock it down. And there's other decks that get to use this as well.
And I guess in that case, 3 mana removal probably good.
Yeah, so.
It's okay, yeah, I guess there are uses for this. Maybe Warrior as well, if you're playing, like,
Frost Lich Jaina. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, Frost Lich Jaina. Yeah, but unfortunately, most arena classes, though, this is just Battlecry, choose a minion.
Right. Well, in most arena classes, it's other classes, it's like 3 mana corruption.
All right. Witch's Cauldron, 3 mana 0/4. After a friendly minion dies, add a random shaman spell to your hand. So, it's kind of like a cult master ish thing at 3. And I've actually seen, amazingly, you wouldn't think an aggro deck would play an 0/4, but I've actually seen this in a number of various odd paladin aggro includes.
I well, the odd paladin deck can definitely use it as like a fake divine favor to just draw a bunch of out of class spells. Uh, I want to say that's the only real place you'd see this over like Cult Master.
Right, and
I want this card to be better than it is.
yeah, an arena, like, again, you can drop it down for some trades and get some value off it. The problem is, unlike Cult Master, it doesn't leave you with any attack on board, which is a problem.
Right, Cult Master can attack for 4 if it's left unchecked. So
Also, it's a way for other classes to get shaman spells. I'm sure somebody will make a shenanigans video with that, and, like, anyways. Sandbinder. 4 mana 2/4. Battlecry, draw an elemental from your deck. So, Gnomish Inventor?
Gnomish Inventor, but narrower scope.
But, like, specifically for elementals? Yeah. Seems good.
Yep.
I don't know if an elemental deck would actually play this over other things, but, like, probably for tutoring. Like, especially if there's a key elemental in your deck.
I've definitely played this in Shutterlock decks.
Right, because it plays the doubler elemental.
Yes, and the reduced cost one. And Grumble is an elemental too. Like, your combo pieces are elementals.
Alright. Muck Hunter. 5 mana 5/8 rush. Battlecry, summon 2/1 mucklings for your opponent. So this is like yet another hunted thing. But like 5 mana 5/8 rush, like this is Doomguard without the discards in terms of cleanup ability. Although then it summons things, but you might be able to deal with them with like mage or rogue or druid hero power. Or just like trades.
Trading. Yeah. This is very strong and very scary because of how powerful of a sweeping ability it is. Like, cleanup crews of like, we saw earlier, like, 2/5, 2/6 bodies. This is a cleanup crew that comes down and like knocks out a Yeti, and then leaves a Lost Tull Strider behind. And if you can deal with little mucklings,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Mossy Horror. 6 mana 2/7. Battlecry, destroy all other minions with 2 or less attack. So, Shadow Word Horror's gone, so they put it on a neutral thing.
They put it on a neutral minion, which is actually more relevant than you'd expect, because one of the priest builds I have seen is just, like, Spiteful Priest, or Spiteful Druid, using just Mind Control as the only spell, and then playing Spiteful Summoner. Druid doing only Ultimate Infestation and playing Spiteful Summoner. And this is a way to, like, get spell abilities on a body. Seriously, the Spiteful decks are some of the strongest decks in Constructed. They're very high roll. Like, in the sense that, like, if you draw your Spiteful Summoner, you are playing a 4/4 that generates the worst cases, like, Ultra Soar. Because all the old gods are gone. So 10 drops are huge. So, relevant for those decks.
So wait, why does this go into a Spiteful deck though? Like I understand Spiteful's good now, but
right, it goes into a Spiteful deck because it's a spell ability on a minion. It lets you replicate the ability of a spell, but not on a spell.
Gotcha. I imagine this would also probably be decent with that Warlock Echo spell.
Yes.
But I still don't like that it's 6 mana 2/7.
In the right matchup, it is enough. That is enough to get there. Generally against like aggro paladins, or even just like I want to eat half of these druid
Like,
things. You know.
okay, does good cleanup against druid producing a ton of scarabs. I'll give it
Yeah.
that.
So
But
one of the tricks about the spiteful decks is that they begin and end at 2x spiteful summoner and 2x 10 drop, and then 26 minions that do like just random battle cry things that are cleanup, because the only thing they actually care about is playing that
okay,
spiteful summoner.
so that's because I was gonna say 6 mana for cleanup comes down so late.
Well, because they're playing, they're it's probably, it's not the hugest thing in there, but I guess I would take a
Yeah.
look at some of those decks. The spiteful decks are very strange as far as deck building is concerned.
All right, I'll take
So
a look at those. All right. Next epic, Worgen Abomination. 7 mana, 6/6. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other damaged minions. Sleep with the fishes.
I was gonna say Baron Geddon.
Other damaged minions is kind of the problem though. Like Baron Geddon can sweep a ton of paladin 1/1s. This will never
Right.
touch a 1/1.
Yeah, but this won't kill you, and it won't. You can avoid it damaging your own minions.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe with Death Knight.
Basically, I've been
Ganache.
beat to hell by this in arena. Oh my god! Because anything that even resembles Baron Geddon in arena is really hard to deal with.
Okay, that much is fair.
Because like you're saying it can't kill 1/1s, but that also means it can't kill your own 1/1s. So your
Right,
own 1/1s poke their minions, and then they deal 2 damage.
right. Yeah, okay, so maybe decent paladin. I was more
Yeah.
thinking this probably isn't constructed playable, but yeah, I can see it being a beating in arena if you can
Yep.
actually set it up. All right, here's a good one. Splitting Festeroot. 8 mana, 4/4. Death Rattle, summon 2/2/2 Splitting Sapling. Splitting Sapling. 2/2. Death Rattle, summon 2/1/1 Woodland Chips. So make 2/2/2s that split up into 1/1s. So you've basically always got 4 power on the board with this thing until you can actually start eliminating the 1/1s. Like talk
It
about your
is.
sticky minions and then put this
Yeah, I was
thing
gonna
in a
say it is
cube.
incredibly hard to get this off the board. Incredibly hard.
Yeah, and then like put in a cube. Like you want an aggro presence like going wide that sticks around. Is it actually good enough for constructed?
I don't know.
All right, and finishing up with the neutral legendaries besides Baku and Gen, who we already saw. Dollmaster Dorian, 5 mana, 2/6. Whenever you draw a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. I'm guessing you play this with like what stuff like Void Lord or
Well, like the idea I think with this is that it's one of these like it's very much like a what was it, Chronomagus, the 6/8 dragon, or even that the mage card we saw before. It's like whenever you draw a minion, copy that minion, but instead it can be like, oh look, I drew Malagos. Whoops. I drew Archmage Antonidas. Whoops. That sort of thing.
Yeah. And actually, for that matter, come to think, I think I've actually seen this in a mage deck playing the like draw 3, drop any spells, like a minion mage deck.
Yeah, and then it just drops a bunch of minions with text on them in play.
Yeah. Then our second to last card, Azalina Soul Thief, 7 mana, 3/3, Battle Cry, replace your hand with a copy of your opponent's. So, like, probably good in situations where Divine Favor would be good, also information.
There's some really funky infinites with this.
Do they involve Lore Walker Cho?
They involve Lorewalker Cho and being a rogue usually, either with Sonya, the one that's like whenever a minion dies, make a 1/1 copy of it in your hand, or like so you draw your opponent's you play the coin, give your opponent coin or counterfeit coin or however you got coins, maybe off your wanted, because you just need the coins for your combo, and like you just keep like looping your hand and just cast like an eviscerate in it.
All right, and
Yeah.
actually, now that you mention that, I think I have seen this because the problem with that scenario is that you run out of turn time, but
Yes.
therefore the deck also plays Nozdormu because it refreshes your turn timer to 15 seconds every time it comes down.
It's so dumb, isn't it? It's the best.
Nozdormu, a card that never functions and never
So,
has.
so one interesting fact about Norzdamu is that you have a turn timer of it was a minute 30.
Yeah.
If and Norzdamu takes it down to 15 seconds. Norzdamu is the only card that allows you to go infinite with turns because you can just sit there and bounce Norzdamu and reset it. And it's dumb. It's really great.
Yeah, you just, oh, my turn timer is 15 seconds. Now it's 15 seconds again. Still 15 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
So, okay, dumb infinites. Are those decks actually any good?
I doubt it, but they exist. Like it's rogue dumb infinites, like Sonya, this card, a couple coins, a backstab, and like eviscerate, and that's enough to go infinite.
Mm-hmm.
And a Cho.
All right, and our last card of the set, Countess Ashmore, 7 mana, 6/6, battle cry, draw a rush, lifesteal, and death rattle card from your deck.
Curator much?
Yeah, except, so here's the question. They have to be distinct cards, or can I just, like, play this in Priest and draw 2 Obsidian statues?
Pretty sure you can do this and draw 2 Obsidian statues.
Okay.
I mean, if they're both in your deck, of course, on 7.
But yeah, the new Curator, I don't think I've actually seen any decks playing this, but seems
Loss of Taunt
decent
actually
card.
means a lot.
Yeah. But it can draw Taunt, again, if you've got Obsidian statues. It's drawing 2 of them, but, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's the Witchwood, and we even finished within 2.5 hours. That's like half our usual record. We almost, the lightning round plan almost worked. I was hoping we could get it like a 90 to 120 minutes, but
We got there.
So, thoughts on the set overall? I mean, I know you've been playing it with a while.
Yeah, I've actually been enjoying this one a lot, both from an arena perspective and from a constructed perspective. I really like Baku and Gen a lot for what sort of options they open up, and I'm really excited to. I think that those are those cards I would highly consider crafting because they are going to be in standard for 2 years, and like as the card pool widens, they only get more interesting and more powerful, and they're options for every class. Outside of that, there's also some really fun stuff within a lot of classes. So there's a lot going on in this set that I'm a decent fan of.
Yeah. I think Rush and Echo are both extremely well-designed mechanics, as well as the odd and even deck things. The swap stats, I can take it or leave it. But yeah, as for actual, I guess, classes once more through, like Druid doesn't get much, doesn't need much. Hunter actually got some viable options like Rexar decks. Mage got a few okay things, like Minion Mage, probably the big thing.
Yeah, like Tempo Mage is like the aggressive Mana Worm style decks have always been real, and there's some pretty good cards to push that.
Paladin, I mean, honestly, it's Baku and Gen more than anything, but also like Liam if you're doing the odd plan. Priest, like, honestly, probably didn't get enough for constructed really at all. And lost too much. Rogue, a couple decent things, like a lot of value cards, which honestly it kind of needed. Shaman probably lost more than it gained, but like Hagatha and Shutterwalk make for some interesting decks. Warlock's just in a really good spot. It was good, and it got even more good stuff, like Godfrey. And Warrior, I don't know if Rush Warrior's a thing, but like Control Warrior, definitely a plan.
Yep. So
And
Good
the
places.
and the real thing this set brought that's loads of fun is a dungeon run mode, which
Yeah, Monster Hunt
has
does
its
look pretty
own
cool.
Monster Hunt mode, which has its own batch of new cards too that we won't be talking about. There were also 10 new cards added to Arena between this set and the last one, which I guess we didn't really find worth talking about, but if you haven't seen
Yep.
them, check them out. But yeah, so that's the set. Thank you very much, Slio9, for doing this as always. I know
Yeah, of course.
a lot to go through, but thanks for sticking out with it. And thank you everybody in the chat for joining. Oh yeah, sorry, did I say 10 arena cards? I meant 9 arena cards, 1 per class. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and have a good night.
Night, everybody.